Howdy ho! How has the weekend been treating you so far? Hopefully it's not too wet for you. It's been quite rainy this afternoon over in Sydney. And apparently there was even some hail, my mother was saying. So hopefully it's been better weather for you guys. Glad you've been playing Unpacking Wolf. I really did enjoy that game, actually. The music in particular was just fantastic. Very wet? That is a shame. Wolf, that is a shame. So, did you end up meeting your cousin? Is that today or is that tomorrow? Cousin meeting. Because I imagine the very wetness wouldn't necessarily detract from that. Okay, tomorrow. Yeah, Mother's Day tomorrow. I've got a Mother's Day thing in the afternoon, which is exciting. And then back to work. Man, the weekends really feel like they shoot past, don't they? They turn up and then in the next second they're gone. It's annoying. I would like them to stay around longer. Just hydrating. Alrighty. Well, as the title suggests, we're going to be having a look at Beacon Pine. It's a visual novel game on Game Pass that I've been tempted to have a look at for a while. But while we're in between kind of more sizable games, I figure now is a good time to do that. It is described as a cute and creepy adventure game, where one sneaks out late, makes new friends, uncovers hidden truths, and collects words that will change the course of fate. If you could change your fate, would you? Let's find out. I should mention as well, tomorrow I will be helping run a time trial event for Forza Horizon 5 for another streamer, Aurora de Mercedes. She has turned up a few times on here from like 9 o'clock or so. So if you're looking for something to do around that time, come and say hi. I'm going to use controller. Feels like I can control this kind of thing. Thunderstorm. Good evening, Shadow. Or actually, good morning.
Dear reader, allow me to introduce you to my book.
It's going through quite quiet.
Though it might at first appear like many
That's
books
better.
you've come across, it is far from ordinary. You may, therefore, have some misunderstandings about its nature. The story that awaits you has not been full. In fact, its conclusion is not yet known. Even it is in that way that my book is special. It is in that way that you are special.
Oh, book. Flash narrator, you shouldn't have. It's always nice to be called special. I'm gonna get out of the way though.
Without you, there is no story. Chapter 1. Normal isn't what it used to be. This is a story about change. Nestled in a shallow valley is the town of Beacon Pines. Far from the town square, across the river, past the neglected welcome sign, a young boy walks alone at dawn. His name is Luca Van Horn, and like you, dear reader, he's here for a reason.
He's here because this gravestone was on Game Pass. Just like me. Hey Dad. How are things going? Today's the first day of summer vacation. I start middle school next year, I guess. I was 6 years old when you died, and it's been 6 years now. From here on out, you'll have been gone longer than you were here. Feels like that should mean something. Mum always said this tree was your favourite spot in the world. It is a lovely tree. Me too. Hey, Luca. I knew I'd find you here.
Rollo was Luca's closest friend. He possessed many fine qualities, but subtlety was not one of them.
Well, after I banged on your door till your gran answered, and after I checked the pond and climbed up the treehouse, then I knew I'd
Rollo
find
finally
you.
noticed the tears welling in his friend's eyes, and the flowers on the grave.
Sorry, I didn't know if you're going to keep doing it now that your mum's gone too. She's not gone. She's just missing. Sorry, I meant to say since she was missing. She's going to come back, probably. Of course she is. Okay, Dad. See you next time. I think I'm ready to get out of here. Sure, lead the way. Oh, that's adorable. Love the dandelions. We got a charm.
Wonderful! I had a good feeling about you from the moment you opened my book. That charm is a very special thing. Very special. Keep hold of it for now. Its purpose will reveal itself soon enough.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. The whole reason I was looking for you. I was wondering if you'd ever get to that. I found the perfect way to start our summer. How's
Rollo
that?
looked to the side suspiciously.
Not here. They might be watching. They who? Shh. Not so loud. We need to do this in a secure location. Mission control. Alright, I just have to tell Gran, then we can head out. What are you going to tell her? I don't know. I'll think of something. If it's all the same to you, I'll meet you at the welcome sign. Your Gran still kind of weeks me out. I don't do well with new people. He moved in like half a year ago. Just meet me at the sign when you're done. Suit yourself. I won't be long. Rollo's got a huge amount of, like, ear fluff.
Dear reader,
Damn, this
forgive me
place
for this
looks
interlude.
so nice.
Remember that charm you found in the dandelion patch? There are more of those special charms to discover throughout Beacon Pine. They've been known to reveal themselves to those who are willing. Some of them can be found in this very house.
My God.
Since Gran had moved in, the house was more peaceful, more orderly, and more covered in flowery fabric.
I'd just murder this right here. I would love to fall asleep there. The fireplace. It's raining tonight. Ah, just be perfect.
Gran had already lit the fire. She kept a warm house, as if by Gran.
I forgot you've got a coal fire, because I've never
One of his father's
encountered
old
one.
stethoscopes. Luca had spent countless hours listening to anything and everything with it. Not for years, though.
I've only ever encountered wood or gas fires.
Just some dusty knickknacks. Gran had commandeered the upstairs closet when she moved in. Some things need shelter from a young boy's mischief, she said.
Getting all of the medallions, or whatever they're called. I can't remember now.
Luca paused at his parents' bedroom. He just wasn't ready to go in yet.
Follow the light. Oh, look at this room. This is so choice.
Gran's bed was undisturbed. Luca didn't mind that she had a habit of falling asleep in front of the fireplace. It meant that he could read late into the night.
I would love to have this kind of room.
Luca tossed on his favorite old sweater. Even though it was the first day of summer, a chill still.
Yep. Chilling. Absolutely chilling like a villain.
Gran's moving in meant that most of Luca's things had been crammed in the corner. Luca was somewhat annoyed by the situation.
It is a little bit weird that Gran didn't move into the parents' room. But whatever works. Gran knows best.
The only piece of furniture Gran had brought when she moved in was an old hutch.
I haven't heard them called a hutches in forever.
A pair of dull scissors, a broken can opener, a mostly empty bottle of glue.
That's a good draw. Mostly empty bottles of glue, scissors that
An array of
string,
prepared meals
probably
crowded
some
the
batteries that are
refrigerator,
dead.
each labeled with the day of the week.
Well, yeah, let's close the fridge.
Oh my! This is quite exciting! I am now certain that you are the one I've been waiting for all. You'll recall I was a bit coy regarding the use of charms. Excuse me. I tend to have a flair for the dramatic. You are about to encounter your first turning point.
What am I doing? I need to turn back up. Hey, I'm back.
There are certain times in this tale when everything hinges on a single word. Step forth, dear reader. A sturdy old wheelbarrow.
Yeah, that looks like such a nice...
A beginner's guide to gardening
Nice
laid open
house.
on the bench.
The other thing, I'm almost certain the junk drawer is the same, like, everywhere. In the sense that if anyone in Australia, at least, wants to find scissors in the kitchen, they are almost always in the second drawer. That's just where they live. Hey, Gran. I'm gonna hang with Rollo for the day. See you later. Hold up now. Where are you and Rollo headed? Exactly. Oh,
The
no,
less
it's special.
Gran knew, the better for everyone involved.
Really? Well, where are they then? We're just gonna go... chill. We're gonna go chill for the day.
We were just gonna go chill for the day.
That's awfully unspecific, Wolf.
The best lies are built on truth.
Sure are, Gran. We stick to what we're good at. Well, make sure you're done chilling in time for supper.
Easy. Impressive. You've managed to navigate your first turning point without too much of a mess. That is the power of charms. A single word can change everything. I think it's time to introduce you to the Chronicle.
Chronicle.
The Chronicle is a record of the decisions you've made. You can see the turning point which has been revealed. At any time, you can use the Chronicle to go back and invoke different charms, creating new branches. Luckily for us, this is the one and only turning point where the charms won't dramatically alter fate. It's the perfect opportunity to experiment with rewriting things.
What if I don't want to? We're gonna go and ponder.
We were just gonna go ponder for the day.
We're just gonna go ponder for the day. Oh, really? What are you guys gonna ponder on such a lovely day?
This was Luca's chance to sell his alibi.
You know, big stuff, small stuff, medium. Mostly
Nailed
medium.
it.
Well, make sure you don't overburden yourself with the preponderance of pondering. Huh? Oh, forget it. Off with you now. Away. Oh, and Luca? Rollo, stay out of trouble. I know. Get into trouble with Rollo. Hell yeah, trouble time. I love those kind of cherry trees, I guess they are. Come on. Sorry, not come. On. Dang it, Rollo.
For a town that saw few visitors, the welcome was perhaps more grand than necessary.
You know the drill. Don't let anyone discover our secret path.
Chapter 2. Welcome to Beacon Pines.
Thanks for having us.
For many years, this valley had been a small mining outpost. It wasn't until Sharper Valentine built his fertilizer company that Beacon Pines was established. Over the next 30 years, the town had grown and prospered until the foul harvest and his sudden... In the 6 years since, everyone was simply trying to get by.
I'm trying to figure out when this game is set. I think it's somewhat contemporary. Hey, Mr. Kerr. Hey there, pal.
William Kerr was the CEO of Perennial Harvest Company. He had become a fixture around town over the past few years. After the failing of Valentine fertilizer, the town was hungry to welcome a new source of employment.
Excited for the big festival? Oh, I'm sure. Come on now, when I was your age, there was nothing more exciting than a town festival. The food, the music, the dancing. Sounds pretty alright. You're gosh darn right it is. I'm looking forward to letting off some steam myself. Make sure to invite all your little friends. I couldn't keep Rollo away if I tried. Excellent. Sorry, look, I've got to get back to the proverbial grindstone. Our harvest awaits and all that. Oh, now, the left side's a little low. Sorry, Mr. Van Horn, can't talk. Very busy with
Mayor
preparation.
Augustus Valentine was not busy.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, sorry, Gus. How many times do I Mayor Valen...
Flustered, Gus instinctively loosened his...
Buddy, if you keep loosening your tie, it's going to end up as a belt. I must briefly attend to a concerned citizen. Huh? It's nothing, keep at it. Alright, what can the mayor of Beacon Pines do for you today? Oh, just saying hi, I guess. Well, good day to you too, young Mr. Van Horn. Luca Van Horn, that is a respectable name. Oh, I didn't mean to go through that. Oh, hell yeah, chillin'. Mr. Cool. Just straight up vibing. Say hi to this red panda. Mr. Van Horn, do you have a moment? It's just Luca. Golly, I'm sorry, it's my first week at Perennial
He
Harvest.
pulled a pen from the pocket of his sweater vest and began to frantically jot something down on a clipboard.
Wonderful, it won't happen again. If we're going to be on a first-name basis, then you can call me Pete. Oh, nice to meet you, Pete. Sorry, what are you writing? Oh, just documenting. Gosh, it's exciting to be a part of something so darn special. You know, it's not just about the new fountains and phone booths. We're going to change the world. And it all starts here, at Beacon Pines. Isn't that amazing? Uh-huh. Anyway, I better get... Oh, that reminds me. We'd love to hear your thoughts. My thoughts? You bet. If we're going to change this town, we need to get every detail right. That sounds intense. Changing the world is intense. So what do you say? Could you answer a few questions? Well, I guess if it's quick. Wonderful. Open to answering a few quick questions. One down. See, it's not that hard, is it? Oh, okay, we're already going. Question 2. What is something you love about Beacon Pines? I've never really thought about it before. Perfect. The only place I've lived. See, that wasn't so
He stopped scribbling and glanced up from the clipboard.
Was it? I guess not. Huzzah! Our first 3 questions answered in record time. Are you literally writing down everything? Thank you so much for your time. I need to process these answers. We can save the rest of your thoughts for later. Okay. Our harvest awaits. Perennial harvest sounds creepy. Thank you, Sergeant. Oh, I thought that was the mother, the rhino. That's another kid. I should have been reading all that, shouldn't I? Ain't that right, Tish? Yep. Mr. Sinclair.
Mr. Sinclair continued snoring and lifted one eyelid just enough, a tactic he often used to avoid undesirable.
Bah, don't you see I'm sleeping, boy? How's the napping today? Crummy as always. Used to have a perfectly nice view from here. The perennial harvest put that monstrosity of a building in the way. Why don't you just move your chair a bit? Why should I be the one that moves? If it's a showdown they want, I ain't gonna be the one who blinks. Can we go this way? Oh, right, rolling. Okay, well, looks like we're going back this way. Yeah, translated, you kids get off on my lawn. Hey, Jetson, that's a weird name. Is the line playing any tunes today? No bites this morning, I'm afraid. Come to think of it, I can't remember the last time I reeled one in. But hey, it was never about the catch. This is where I come to think. Yeah, that's what my dad used to do here. That reminds me. If you ever want his chair back, I've taken to standing recently. It keeps me from falling asleep at the reel. If you don't mind, I think you should stay. Not at all. An empty chair makes for a great listener.
Whenever Luca saw his dad's chair by the pond, it reminded him of the days they'd pack up a couple of sandwiches and fish until sundown.
It's Mr. Van Horn. Go pick out your bait from the tackle box, buckaroo.
Luca opened the tackle box and picked the perfect bait.
Junk.
Luca tied a shoestring to the hook. What fish could resist a nice shoestring?
I don't know what a tickle would be. Hopefully we can...
Luca
well, the
tied
junk
a
seemed to work.
shoestring to the hook.
And yes, I do think that
What
a wolf
fish
on the
could
sign.
resist a nice shoestring?
Gotta press and hold A to reel her in. We'll get this fish eventually.
Luca tied a what fish?
Thank you, book. That's enough. Cha. Let it get too stressed. A boot, hell yeah. Very poggers. Sometimes things drift away, that's not fair. No, it's not. Well, wherever it is, I hope that the other boot at least has a sock to keep company. Alright, let's try a tickle
Luca
out.
gently baited a feather, good for skimming the surface.
Choo! Reel her in, come on! Come on! Reel. A rubber ducky? Well, I'll be switched. It's your old rubber ducky. You were just a little drooling ball of fur when you lost that. Cried for days. I told you it'd turn up. Hehe. Looks like we could use some new bait. What do you say we head out and find some more? Yeah, sure, where are we heading out? Oh, that way, okay. Hold on. Let's inspect the sign. Mission control. Authorized personnel only. I think I'm authorized, chap. It's a pretty baller treehouse.
The boys had a good thing going. As long as they kept old Jeff happy, they had an endless source of precious materials to add to the treehouse.
Okay, what's this top secret plan to start summer? So you know the abandoned warehouse by my place? The old Valentine building? Yeah, well, it isn't abandoned. What makes you think that? Get this. Last night, it was glowing. Glowing? Are you sure? Kinda. That place has been empty since the fowl harvest? Yeah. Who would even want to poke around that place? We would, Roller. We would. Wait. It's just a busted old warehouse. I just meant we could do some research at the library. Actually want to go to the warehouse? What do you expect to find? Answers? My mum's out there somewhere, and it seems like everyone wants to pretend that she's gone for good. You don't have to come, Rollo, if you don't want to. Luca, remember that time I sort of accidentally burned down the chicken coop, and you jumped in and said it was your fault before my path followed me? This is a flaming chicken coop sort of deal. I've got your back. Thanks, Rollo. Now that I think about it, poking around the crib and fertilizer warehouse is exactly how I want to spend the first day of summer.
On certain nights, when the clouds were just right, the boys could tune into strange patterns of static. Rollo thinks it's aliens. He always thinks it's aliens. Luca's winter coat decommissioned for the summer. With the cold holding out longer than usual, he reconsidered its usefulness.
This is a pretty sweet pad. Luca's just always chilling. We love that for Luca. Hold on. There we go.
After Luca's father had passed, Rollo became obsessed with them building their own Hank atomic star scraper. It was some time before Luca realized it was Rollo's way of keeping him occupied.
Good on you, Rollo. Nope, nothing that way. Rollo, you alright there, champ? You look puffed. I'm just catching my breath a bit. Go on, I'll catch up. This is a really nice town. Let's say hi to this capitalist over
Holden
here.
Wilder ran the local paper of record, the Beacon.
Hey, Mr. Wilder. On and Luca, what's the day have in store for you? I was wondering if you heard any news about... News? The Beacon knows the news that needs knowing. Any news about the old fertilizer warehouse? Nope. Oh. Rollo thought he saw some lights there last night. Rollo ought to be careful poking around that part of town. Winds of change are blowing. And change is a dangerous animal. That's winds, I would have said. But anyway, you do your game. Luca, just the fellow I was looking for. Hey, Roxy, what's up?
Oh, right. Rendezvous with Roxy. This is an important turning point. The first time where your charms will change the course of fate. And currently, we only have one suitable charm at our disposal. Have no fear, we can always return later using the Chronicle once we find more charms. Well, now I'm just rambling. Where were we?
Have you seen my blockhead brother today? He skipped out before breakfast. Well, not really, no. Can't say I have. Can't say, or won't say. Roxy, would I lie to you? Luca, wait up, I almost forgot to tell you. Roxy might be lurking around here. One of her favourite places to stand around and be useless. Rollo. We need to make sure she doesn't spot us. Rollo. Why are you doing that turning thing with your booty? What, you're not scared, are you? She's harmless. And a chum. And she's right around the corner, isn't she? Hell yeah, we got into trouble with Roller. Excellent. Don't mind me. Just over here. Lurking. Useless. Oh, hey sis. Nice weather we're having, huh? Couldn't help but notice you snuck out this morning before breakfast. Wasn't hungry. Also, couldn't help but notice your morning chills were left unshort. Roxy, I'm gonna level with you. I'm sick and tired of digging up carrots. We all gotta pick up the slack since the foul harvest. Almost every carrot I dig up is rotten, and the rest look like they were hit with Hank-Atomic's shrink ray. All the more reason to keep on digging. There's gotta be more to life than puny carrots. Look, Roxy, Luca and I have places to be, so if you don't agree... Oh, I do mind. I'm not gonna catch hell because of you again. So either you march yourself home and harvest those carrots, or I haul you home yourself.
Rollo froze as Roxy took a step toward him, cracking her knuckles. Luca knew he had one chance to save his friend from being dragged home.
In the past, he found the best way to deal with an enraged Roxy was to be a little chill.
In the past, he found the best way to deal with an enraged Roxy was to be a little chill.
Just kinda chill out. Come on, Roxy, it's the first day of summer, the sun's shining, and we just want to take it easy. Luke, the chiller. Let's leave tomorrow's problems for tomorrow. That's great and all, but Rollo's problems have a way of becoming my problems. And Pa always says tomorrow's work is best left for yesterday. March, you big oaf. Oh, rats. I expect a full report about the Valentine play. A full report? I think it's kind of... not necessarily a make your own story, but like a, yeah, like a branching path thing. So, Fitz. Your face looks weird, Fitz. No offense. What are you up to this lovely day? Nope. Cool. That went well. Sharper Valentine, founder of Beacon Pines. Never underestimate what a great man can do given time.
A bit much, if you ask me.
Indulgent.
Miss Hatch could often be found near the fountain, too absorbed in a book to be distracted.
The two wandered down the wooded path, unaware of the danger ahead. Oh, this is getting good. Let's say hi to this. Hey, Mrs. Nelson. Morning, Luca. Any big plans for the summer? Not really. Heard anything about the old fertilizer warehouse? Any strange happening? Can't say I have. Either way, a dusty old warehouse is no place for a young boy. Be safe now. Never. Oh, this cafe looks to die for. Piper? Oh, hey, Luca. What's up? You know, it's summer break, right? Of course. It's like the morning, correct? And you're studying? Like they say, the early bird gets the proper education required for a successful and fulfilling career later in life. Mm-hmm. Hey, Zariel. Hi, Luca. Could you please tell this lazy butt to help out in the cafe? Lumi, Zariel would like you... Luca, let me give you a little gem of advice. If you never do what you don't love, then you'll never work a day in your life. Hell yeah. Wow. You're really setting the kid up for success. Words to live by, chat. Can we go in the town hall? Nope. Let's keep going this way then. The newsstand. Up at dawn, newsstand. Run by a bat. That is unfortunate. Hey, Dawn. Sorry to wake you. No problem. Comes with the
Dawn
job.
had dreams of becoming a big-time reporter. At night, she searched for the story that could be her big break. By day, she hawked papers at the newsstand.
What's up? Well, I said he saw something strange going on at the warehouse. Do you know anything about that? You might say I've heard something. I'm working on a story about it right now. So what's going on? Can't say quite yet. I still need to follow up on a few leads. Keep me in the loop, okay? Sure thing. Seems to be quiet in town today. Yep, everyone is preparing for the festival. Should be back to normal tomorrow. Catch you then? Catch you then. Okay, and Luca? I'm really sorry I haven't been able to find anything out about your mum yet. I'm just grateful you tried. I'm still keeping my ears up. Last Chance Diner. Guess Mrs. Fratelli? Fratelli is getting ready for the festival. Try going this way past Mr. Valentine. Drugstore, drugstore. Hey, Solomon. Apologies, no time for chit-chat. Solomon's all business, baby. Nuncreed's drugstore. Luca, my boy. Hold up a tick. Oh, hey, Mr. Nuncreed. I was just on my way too. I just sold the last jar of your grandmother's preserves. Can't stock the shelves fast enough, turns out. Hey, that's great, but I'm actually... I guess Juniper will just have to swing by with more of her lovely jam. Uh-huh. Well, don't let this old man slow you down. You just remind her that she still owes me that dance.
A promise Gran regretted the second it was made.
Will do. She's a fine woman, that Juniper. Yeah, she's pretty cool, I guess. A real fine woman. Gotta go. Sweeter than any jam on earth. The library's closed. Looks like the library still hasn't opened yet. I'll check back later.
The phone booth was brand new. Part of Perennial Harvest's Beacon Pines Reborn initiative. It didn't see much use.
What's up? Oh, hey, Luca. Hey, Joey. How's the bug hunt going? Not great. Bugs have been shy this week. Bugs get shy? Oh, sure. Bugs aren't that different from people. Sometimes they just want to be left alone. If you're going into Weepwood, just be careful where you step. No bug crunching. Got it. Let's not go into the dark, ominous woods just yet.
After the foul harvest destroyed their wealth and reputation, the Valentines shuttered off their estate from the rest of town. The Valentine mansion loomed over every other building in town, both figuratively and literally.
That must have been a hell of a harvest to cripple the Valentine Empire. It sounds like it was a pretty, important part of the town. Alright, looks like I can only go into the woods.
The path led into a small hollow at the edge.
Okay, no turning back now. Caution, electrified fence. Is that sign new?
The fence thrummed with a gentle electric buzz.
Okay, so what would Rollo do if he was
Luca
here?
often asked himself what Rollo would do, so that he could rule out that option.
I'm definitely not touching that thing. I was going to say, it's probably unwise.
As sparks flew from the fence, the light atop that section shut off. 2 bulbs remained.
So we're sorting out the fence, I guess. That's 2.
1 more to go.
These mushrooms are very useful.
The fence's buzzing gave way. Every kid in town knew the old Valentine fertilizer building. Long abandoned, the warehouse once served as the industrial heart of Beacon Pine. Now, it stood only as a reminder of things left behind. The dormant building showed strange signs of life.
Okay, so Rollo wasn't exaggerating for once. What's going on?
There was only one way to find out.
These purple trees seem pretty healthy. Wow, that smells awful. Too bad Rollo's not here. He'd have no problem poking around in here. Damn, burning up Rollo, huh?
The hose emitted a subtle sound. It was actively draining some kind of liquid.
Investigate the Valentine warehouse.
Luca thought he heard faint sounds coming from the other side of the door. He pressed his ear against the cold metal to hear better.
A zipper? Footstep?
The sound of footsteps grew louder.
What are the beds we're hiding in the bin? Bollocks.
The heavy steel door knocked Luca to the ground.
Sure.
Disoriented, he looked up to see an imposing figure silhouette. It lunged toward him. He tried to scramble away, but felt a gloved hand latch onto his ankle. Luca watched his fingernails leave trails in the dirt as the hand slowly dragged him back through the door, into the lab, into the green light. This is a story about change. It was far from the sort of change Luca imagined for himself. But change is, after all, a dangerous animal. The end? I probably should have warned you about this. There are many paths that our story can take. Most will end in tragedy. But don't let that discourage you. We will find the ending that this story deserves. I just know. From here on out, a charm will have a check mark when it's been used to its full potential at a given turning point. Now, let's try something different.
Hey, we can use the crap.
In the past, he found the best way to deal with an enraged Roxy was to be a little shit.
Make a break for it. What have you done? Run all you want, you little twerps. You gotta come home eventually. Investigate the Valentine warehouse with Roller. Sorry about that. Roller can get
Solomon
overexcited
Valentine.
sometimes.
Current ward of and future successor to the Valentine fortune, huffed as he brushed off his pants.
A town of complete and utter fool. One wonders if it's worth taking anything here seriously. Either way, I'm really sorry. No matter. How are you doing? Me? Yes, with all that business about your mother and whatnot. Oh, I'm getting by. Still no word from her at all? No. That truly is a shame. Your grandmother has taken residence to keep house? Yeah. And how is that going? We mostly stay out of each other's way. You make it sound like she's rarely at home. It's not like that. She just has a lot to do. She's still settling in, trying to figure out how to make ends meet. Indeed. Well, count your blessings. Better to have a caretaker who is rarely around, in lieu of one who tries to compensate by smothering you with attention. That doesn't sound so bad. Trust me when I say, it's best to rely on oneself. My family has a way of creating more problems than they solve.
Solomon trifled a gesture toward the approaching heiress Valentine.
Speak of the devil. Do not wander off like that. I'm much too busy to be looking all over for you. Apologies, heiress. I was just taking a stroll through town. Trolls, are for commoners. You're a Valentine now. I want you to be present for the construction of the History Museum. The future of this town relies on its ability to remember your family's great past. Of course. Luca, my boy. Hold up a tick. Sorry, Mr. Nuncree. Kind of in a hurry right now. Boy's got too much of his fun. I win. Little help? I am a champion. Still racing. Did that road get longer? Like anything around here ever changes? It seemed longer. You're just lightheaded from the run. You really need to pace yourself better next time. Not sure why I would take advice from second place. Has that sign always been there? Wait, what? Caution, electrified fence. Now that's definitely new. Creepy. How are we gonna get around an electric fence? Don't worry. I've got this. Why did you do that? Always said you can figure out what the plan was when you're done. Great. What now? Well, I did my part, establishing that touching the fence is bad. I'm sure you can handle it from here. Oh, let's supervise. From a safe distance. Whoa, you're a genius. I think that did it. Luca, you never fail to impress. Alright, gamers.
As the glowing windows of the old warehouse came into view, Rollo began to bounce excitedly.
Check it out. Dang, Rollo, you weren't exaggerating for me. Was there ever any doubt? This definitely needs investigating. Good thing, too. Ace detectives are on the case. I wonder who they are, because they can't be us. This is bizarre. This is awesome. Did you feel that? What? The excitement in the air? Bet your butt I did. Check out this paddle. That's not normal. And this hose. Oh man, the door's locked. Try harder. No dice. Won't budge. Oh well. This dumpster's here, alright? I bet it's got stuff in it. Can't really see what's in here. Who did all this? My nose is itching. I think I smell some treasure. Are you sure that isn't the hazardous waste? Just help me get in. Rollo, it would be my honor to throw you in the trash. Come on, Lady Luck. So what's in there? Let's see. There's a squishy bag of squish. Wow. A good inch of stagnant sludge. Your natural habitat? Wait, hold the phone. Hold two phones, in fact. Take these bad boys out. Are those walkie-talkies? Just like Hank Atomic's communicators. Do these actually work? Ground command to Hank Atomic. Hank, do you read me? This is Hank Atomic. Ground command, you're coming in 5 by 5. Ah, how are your vital readouts, Hank? It's getting a little stuffy in here. Requesting assistance for evac. Help is on the way. What was that? Someone's coming, give me a hand. Trying, my hands are covered in squish. Scoot over, I'm coming in. Tell me you saw him. Dude, I don't know what I saw. He's coming back, get down. Body bag, perhaps?
boy sat petrified under the weight of the bag.
Oh god, tell me that's not what I think it is. Look, do you know that what separates run-of-the-mill detectives from ace detectives? Particular tap. When the chips are down, ace detectives dig deeper.
Rollo felt around at the large sack which burdened them. He snapped off a tag from just within a small zipper opening in the bag.
It's a sort of badge or something.
Rollo held the badge up to a faint shaft of light within the dumpster.
Dr. Prescott, Deep Engineering. The name tag. Who would throw away a bag of slimy old name tag? I think it's just the one name tag in a bag full of something else. Oh, okay. I think we should make a break for it. Take time. This is no time to panic. I'm not panicking. You're panicking. Rollo, come down. You don't have to squeeze my hand so hard. Dude. I'm not holding your hand. Quit messing around. What other slime-covered hand would be in here? That! I'm beginning to see the benefits of your run for our life. Right, we've clearly established I'm faster than you, so I'll go first. Why not go together? Flaming chicken could work out. I'll make sure the coast is clear. After I go, count to 100. If you hear me yell, run. If you don't hear me yell, run. Actually, either way, call up. Rollo, I'll give you credit. You found an eventful way to start our summer. That's what I do. Well, here goes nothing.
Lucas sat in the dark, tracking the sound of Rollo's footsteps as he ran. 1, 2, 3. He pressed his ear to the dumpster wall, straining to hear Rollo's footsteps as they faded away. 15, 16, 17. He tried not to think about the contents of the dumpster as he counted. 35, 36, 37. The thick stench made it hard to breathe. Screw it, that's long enough. Luca carefully lifted the lid and peered out. Nothing. No sign of Rollo. No sign of the man in the yellow suit. Time to haul ass. Luca clambered from the dumpster, stumbling to his knees. He was up like a shot and running, sprinting toward home as fast as he could. Beacon Pines flew by, blurred by the tears that welled up in his eyes. He wouldn't remember getting home at all that night. Throwing his front door open, storming up the stairs to his room and surrendering... Chapter 3.
I feel like I probably should have showered first. I don't know if Grandma would have appreciated the smell that we brought home. It turns out we were right, Shadow. It was a body bag.
Finding a friend. The next morning, it was quieter than usual at the breakfast table. Only the sound of silverware and chewing interrupted the awkward silence.
Well, it's probably because I have to stand to eat breakfast, it looks like. I finished jarring a mess of jam last night. Uh-huh. So that'll need to get delivered into town today. Okay. So what did you and Rollo get up to yesterday? No, nothing interesting. Hello? I'm not gonna try and translate that chat. Calm down. No, of course it was the right thing to do. Start gathering folks. I'll be right there. Are you sure there isn't anything you want to tell me about yesterday? Anything I want to tell you? Not really. We just sort of ran around a bit.
Gran's brow furrowed. She let out a long sigh. Her voice was quiet and even.
I have to go take care of something. You are to stay in this house for the day. Under no circumstances are you to leave. What? If I'm not back by dinner, there's a stew in the icebox. But nothing. You are to stay here, understand? Yeah. Say it. I'll stay here till you get back. Good. Well, that was strange. Anarchy in the UK, let's flood the place. Ah, he was definitely of feline descent. In my eyes, at least.
Young Luca would spend hours hiding in the bushes, waiting for a chance to jump out and startle his mother. She always enjoyed humoring him by feigning terror. A faint electronic sound floated in the air.
Is that coming from inside the house? Probably my walkie-talkie, Luca. Probably upstairs, right? Hello? Is anyone there? Hello? Rollo, is that you? Probably not Rollo. Over? Was that me that knocked on that door? Ligers and... what's the other one? Ligers... Peons? Oh, hey, Roxy. If this is about me, accidentally kicking you yesterday. Is Rollo here? No? Look at me, Luca. This is serious. Here's Rollo. Here. No, I haven't seen him since yesterday. Rollo didn't come home last night. What?
A pit formed in Luca's stomach.
Where was the last place you saw him? We were playing around in Weepwood, and then it was late and we went home. Weepwood? If he's still alive, I'm gonna kill that little creep. Is there anything else? Anything that he said?
Luca's mouth felt dry.
No, we were just messing around. Okay. I need to go let people know to check the woods. You just stay out of trouble. Go see if he's hiding in the library or something.
Luca could feel his heart beating in his throat.
Rollo. Where are you? If the police were leaving the house.
The road leading to Beacon Pines was long and a sort of natural barrier for the impatient.
Take that, impatience. What's up, nerd? Hey, Bert. Have you seen Rollo? Nope. So I must have been talking to clipboards. They're setting up lots of stuff for the festival. This one said that he had to process some answers. I told him that was fine. I'll wait right here until he gets back. Much interest. Chillin' once more. I mean, it's not surprising, but I am getting some significant Night in the Woods vibes from this game. Howdy, Luca. Hello again, Pete. I'm not Pete, you silly goose. It's Toby. Could have fooled me. Well, hey, it's no problemo. The important thing is we'd love to hear your thoughts. Yeah, I'm getting that impression. We're all part of something special, Luca. And it all starts right here in Beacon Pines, so I got it.
Toby looked up from the clipboard excitedly.
That's right. So how about you start by telling me, look, no offense, but I've got my own stuff to take care of. God, you joker. We're all part of this together. You'll let us know when you're free to answer a few questions. Yeah, definitely. And I mean, specifically the cute with the dark side and the furry characters. Roxy said she will be here, then she will be here. I just don't see why I'm standing around, doing nothing. And waiting for Roxy. But I could be standing around, doing nothing, and getting paid for it. Come on, I mean, Roxy needs our help. Yeah, well, good intentions don't qualify as legal tender. That's not what he means, Luca. Ah, my parents wouldn't listen. No offense, but isn't Rollo always getting into trouble? Something feels different this time. What can we do to help? We need to check where the adults aren't. So I guess it's up to us to check Weepwood. Our shift doesn't end for another couple of hours. We could spend the time making posters. That would be great, I guess. Right, Fitz and I will check the Weepwood. and we'll be back later to pick up the posters. I think my dad has a map of Wheatwoods. Let's swing by my house and grab it before we head out. Hey, Lucas sure has good hearing. Then again, he does have enormous ears. What's this about a missing child? I must stress that the situation is completely under control, which is why I look depressed and downtrodden. It just seems so terrible. You're sure there's nothing we can do to help? Nonsense, young Mr. Cotter. We'll turn up safe and sound, I'm certain. You just focus on settling in. I trust my sister has supplied you with suitable lodging. Oh yes, Miss Valentine has been more than accommodating. We're just telling our daughter Beck that... Where did she run off to? His eyes went wide in disbelief. What do you mean, Vanek? Impossible. Oh my. He doesn't even see the danger he's in. I wonder if that's like a foreshadowing. Or... Hey Luca, what's up? I haven't seen Roller around recently, have you? Let's come around much. Not since they made a rule that he can only order decaf. That probably seems reasonable. Let's see if the bats heard anything. Hey Dawn. Is the troll bat Roller? Yeah, he didn't come home last night. I wonder if it's connected. Connected to what? I was checking in on the reports about increased activity around town. What sort of activity? Windowless trucks, mechanical noises, strange lights. Your typical shady stuff. Who would be doing all that, and why? Well, I have a few leads. The Valentine's family is also suspicious. Perennial Harvest certainly has the resources. Do you have any idea where Rollo could be? The best place to start looking was the trail went cold. Where did you see him last? We were in Wheat Wood, right by Valentine's fertilizer. I'll check out Wheat Wood when my shift ends. I do my best work at night. I sleep on the job during the day. Oh, we didn't go down here before. Hey, Houston. History Museum. It's laughable, really. Do you happen to see Rollo in there? No, just the shadow of a family. Clinging onto a town, clinging onto the path. Feel free to check it out for yourself, but don't expect to have your mind blown. Hey Griffin, has Rollo been by? Haven't seen him all day. Sure will show up safe and sound. And when he does, tell him there's a strawberry chocolate double scoop waiting for him. On the house. He'll like that. I'd like that. Let's check out some history though. Sharper Valentine, a celebration of excellence.
We all know Beacon Pines is a great town. What you may not know is great towns grow from mighty roots. And that is why you cannot tell the story of Beacon Pines without telling the story of one Sharper Valentine. Young Sharper's keen intellect and strong moral fiber led to a grand vision. A vision of a community dedicated to a better tomorrow. In his own words, a better tomorrow is within our grasp, but it requires a singular mind to harness it. Lucky for us, he decided to grow that vision here, in Beacon Pines. And how does one grow a better tomorrow? With fertilizer, of course. Valentine's Fertilizer Company became the lifeblood of a town yearning for purpose. But then tragedy struck, a scientific experiment gone wrong. An accident which took Sharper away from us far too soon. To this day, we struggle to pick up the pieces. But one foul harvest isn't enough to stop the people of Beacon Pines. The spirit of Sharper Valentine lives on. It lives in the hearts of
fertilizer
everyone
all over
for
the
a better
town.
tomorrow. Together we will
From
follow
the
his
afterlife.
example and grow a bountiful
Doing what he
future.
always loved to do.
Paid for by the Valentine family and the Valentine Fertilizer Company Reverence Fund.
A quality presentation, chat. That was unhelpful. Yeah, definitely.
Kato volunteered at the library during the summers. He wasn't very social, so he'd dedicate each summer to becoming an expert in a single subject, making him a reliable source of very particular. If you were to ask Kato something he didn't know, he'd escape into the dusty old bookshelves and return with just the right thing.
Hey,
Kato was lost in his reading. Luca crooked his neck to see the title, Introduction to Melitology.
Oh, hey, Luca. You snuck up on me. Good book? Dunno. Just started
He
it.
gestured to the shelves.
I'm really running out of books I haven't read yet. So now it's onto the wonderful world of bees. Turns out bees are pretty cool. For instance, do you know that around 70% of bee species actually live in underground tunnels? Or that if there are 2 queens in a hive, they will fight to the death for supremacy? That's interesting, but you haven't seen Rollo around recently, have you? Not since yesterday. Keep an eye out for him, okay? Sure thing. If I see him, you'll be the first to know. That Cato. What a card. Here's this tall glass of water. Hey, Jace. Oh, hey, Luca. Did Rollo come by? No? I was actually surprised. He's usually here only on days when a new issue drops. Rollo's the biggest Hank Atomic fan I know. Besides myself, that is. Well, if he does swing by, tell him to meet me you know where. I don't know where. No, he knows where. Ah. Roger that, Space Cadet.
The bottom corner shelf was a dusty array of thick science books. Only one binding was clean enough to read: Cellular Biology and the Chemistry of Mitosis.
Boring.
Mycological Phosphorescence.
More like my complete loss of interest. Look at burning them up, huh?
There were rarely any actual new editions, simply a variety of existing content rotated into the front display each week.
Not fooling anyone.
Sally Seashore's Simple Succulent Sundries. Luca brushed off a smudge of dust. Or maybe it was flour. 30 recipes so easy you'll doubt it's even edible. A peek behind the curtain. The methods and ruminations of Patrick C. Montesquieu, one of the greatest acting minds of our time, by Patrick C. Montesquieu.
Oof. Oof. We get this one? No.
Oh, the cobs I've eaten. A salad-centric travel guide for the mildly adventurous.
Traveling through the flyover states of America, specifically.
The entire top level of the library was devoted to comics, most of which were Hank Atomic and the myriad of lesser revered spin-offs.
Big comic heads in this town, huh? I got a achievement, which is nerd with 3 exclamation marks, because I perused all of the library shelves. What sort of monster puts candy behind a locked door? Oh yeah, Mr. Uncreed works weird hours sometimes. Of course he does. How about you? When do I work? No, what's your name? Luca Van... You knew him? Yep, not by
That's
choice.
when we moved often, giving her little time to establish any real connection. She would tell you she prefers it that way.
I'm looking for my friend Rollo. He didn't come home last night. So he's missing? Guess so. Like, missing? Does that sort of thing happen a lot around here?
Luca shifted his feet uncomfortably.
Well, that sucks. Yeah, so I should probably get going. Hey, wait up. Huh?
Beck pulled a coin from her pocket.
I'm coming with you. What? So says the unlucky penny. Unlucky? Yeah, well, technically it landed on heads. Leave this kid to find his Fred alone. But I always do the opposite. Ah, it's kind of like me and Rollo. I guess Rollo is my unlucky penny. That settles it. A person should never be without their unlucky penny. Let's go find him. The name's Beck, like the band. By band I meant artist. Pleasure to meet you, Beck. I suppose I could use some help. Try to keep up. Yeah. Just gonna try and make a phone call. Joey, have you seen Rollo around? No, sorry, Luca. I had my eyes in the dirt looking for beetles. Can't seem to find any. He never came home last night. Do you think it's because it's been colder than normal? I don't see why that would have anything to do with Rollo. No, the beetles. Do you think the temperature confused their circadian rhythm or something? To say. I'm no beetologist. Just keep an eye out for him, would you? Of course. Actually, let's check out the beehive.
Luca peeked up at the beehive. It appeared to be deserted.
That's strange. That's the insects are clearly...
After the foul harvest destroyed the Valentine's shutter...
That's got to be related to the fertilizer factory, right? Okay, well, you know, just showing back all these sweet places. That's new. Dang, they brought it up the way in. Let's break it up with mushrooms.
Luca felt a chill as he approached Beck. Her eyes were locked on the strange green liquid. The nearby grass was coated in a fine layer of frost.
Is this sort of thing normal around here? Because puddles of glowing ooze are definitely not what I expected from this place. I have no idea what this stuff is. Well, the next obvious step is science. And what does science suggest? Poke it with a stick.
Luca watched as Beck dipped a broken tree. Beck's eyes widened as flowers grew from the dead wood. First small buds, which quickly bloomed into vibrant petals.
What the? Cool.
As quickly as they had grown, the flowers began to shrivel and turn gray. Beck dropped the stick with a grunt of disgust.
Okay. So science tells us this skunk is weird as hell. Yeah, it's dangerous. Hey Tish, look what the cat dragged in. Yup. I don't have time for this right now, Iggy. Oh, don't say things like that. It hurts Tish's feelings. Ain't that right, Tish? Yup. It looks fine to me. Why, hello. I don't think we've been properly introduced. Iggy's the name, and this is my compatriot, Tish. Yup. You've probably heard of us. Can't say I have. I'll forgive you just this once on account of your being Iggy. Why would you hang out with this dud? Oh, he seems pretty alright. Iggy, why do you have to be so... Has he even told you that his parents skipped out on him? Shut up. Sure, they got tired of having such a pathetic kid and left him. Iggy, I'm only going to say this one time. Don't. Talk about my family. Well, look who's grown a backbone now that a girl's around. His pops broke, and his mum finally couldn't take it anymore and bounced.
Iggy took a step towards Luca, his sneer lit by the glowing puddle. Beck could see tears welling in Luca's eyes, his fists clenched. Some things about Beacon Pines were very different from the city.
Yeah, right.
But a bully from a hayseed town is really no different from a city bully. Beck took a deep breath and thought.
Time to bust out the... strange? Or the tickles? Let's go strange. That seems more
time to
normal.
bust out the strange.
Alright, Luca, looks like you need a little mud bath. What's wrong with you, new kid? We're about to pound your friend.
Beck stared in silence, the only sign of life being the twitch of an eye.
It's weird when people don't talk. Yup. Stop being a weirdo. Hello? Are you some kind of wackadoo? Makes sense. Wackadoos travels in pack.
At the sight of Iggy taunting Beck, something in Luca snapped. Iggy's smirk shifted to a look of shock as Luca launched himself into his stomach. Iggy's clothes were drenched in the glowing ooze.
Jerk, my clothes are ruined.
Iggy's voice began to slur as he struggled to get up.
Maybe we should have tickled. I don't Feels so good. Oof! I'm sorry, I just... Oh crap. Yup. That was intense. Iggy's gonna be okay, right? Nothing about this
The
seems
person
okay.
at the warehouse. This strange ooze and what it did to Iggy. Was Rollo caught up in all of this?
We have to find Rollo. You took the words out of my mouth. Property of Valentine Fertilizer Company. Looks old. Well, this is probably the stuff that they used for the foul harvest. Which is why it didn't work. Whoa there, little buddies. You startled me. What in the dickens are you up to in this part of town? We're just helping look for Rollo. Oh, you haven't heard the good news? Rollo showed up safe and sound a bit ago. Really? Where was he? Funny, really. He just got a little turned around in the woods. They can be disorienting, you know? I'm starting to get that impression. Rollo's at his house now getting some well-deserved rest. Wow, that's a relief. You two should scurry along before you get lost yourselves. Yeah, come on, Beck. Can't wait to introduce you to Rollo. Oh, that reminds me. Luca, your grandmother was looking for you. It was? She was worried sick. You should march straight home. Yes. Beck, your folks must be getting worried too. I'll walk you home. I need to talk with Nellie
Beck
about your work
glanced
anyway.
toward Luca.
I guess all's well that ends well. I'll introduce you to Rollo tomorrow. Sure. Glad he's okay. Yep. Well, I think all of the adults are involved to be at
Rollo
PBH.
was safe.
The fact that Grandma
A
was
wave of relief washed over
suspicious
Luca,
on the
which
phone
was
as well.
quickly replaced by a sense of dread. Gran is going to kill me. If he hurried, he might just make it home before sundown. Chapter 4. Our harvest awaits.
Didn't have to say it that spookily.
Luca took a deep breath and gingerly opened the door, steeling himself for Gran's wrath.
Gran? I'm home. Everything's fine. Gran? Probably close that drawer. Been raised in a barn. Gran? I wasn't supposed to go anywhere. I was just helping look for Rollo. I mean, that's a fair point. I wonder if it's got anything to do with the jam, right? Try upstairs. Thank you, Sergeant. Gran? Roxy came over. She was worried about him, so I figured you wouldn't mind if I helped look for him. It turns out Rollo's safe and sound.
Luca was alone. The house was empty.
But Gran's not back yet. I guess that's a good thing. Nothing to do but sleep, I guess.
Luca was
His
sitting
face
by the
down, just-
pond, listening to small waves lap against a rock. His father sat in a folding chair in front of him. Without turning, he spoke. "Why don't you grab me some nice bait?" "Sure thing, Dad." Luca hopped over to the tackle box and popped open the lid. Inside was a rolling, buzzing mass. "We're fishing with bees?" Luca's father gave a warm chuckle. "Well, you catch more fish with bees than honey. Pick us out a good one."
What is it? You catch more bees with honey, but you catch more honey. Oh, what is it? Catch more flies with honey, but you catch more honeys by being fly. There you go.
Luca closed his eyes and plucked
Words to
out a
live
bee.
by.
He could feel its wings struggle between his finger and thumb. Holding it at arm's length, he hurried over. His father deftly baited the hook and examined his work. "Interesting choice." With a practiced flick of the wrist, the line buzzed in a graceful arc. The water accepted it without a splash or ripple. "The wrong choice," But the pond began to freeze over. Sometimes we gotta make the wrong choice before we can make it right. Pallid ice propagated across the still surface with an alarming speed. Luca scrambled back as the ground beneath him turned cold. Dad, I don't understand. Sorry, kiddo. Understanding isn't always part of the deal. The relentless ice shot through the fishing line toward his father. Dad, look out! His father casually wound the reel. None of it's your fault, you know. Never was. Dad, we have to go. Luca grabbed his father's shoulders, trying to pull him away. Please, you have to run. The ice crackled as it spread across his father's hands. That's the thing about fishing, Luca. His chest began to crystallize. You toss your hook in, and you never know what you're gonna pull out. A shock of searing cold ran up Luca's arms. He gave one last desperate tug. The chair tipped backwards in a single frozen mass. Luca tried to stop the momentum, but he watched the icy form of his father slam into the hard ground, shattering into 1,000 pieces that crowded around his feet. Dad, I don't understand. What does all this mean? The gentle rustle of leaves was the only reply.
Spooky. Oh, we're getting the numbers station again on the walkie-talkie.
Luca's eyes struggled to focus on the walkie-talkie.
Rollo?
Faintly, he could hear Rollo amongst them.
Luca? Rollo, is that you? Luca? Yeah? Rollo, it's the middle of the night. Luca, thank God. Listen. I don't know how long this thing will work down here. Down here?
Rollo's voice was coming through more clearly now, but some words were still just static.
Listen to me, someone grabbed me yesterday. What, the man in the hazmat suit? Took me to some sort of... I think I'm underground. Underground? Are you okay? Kinda. There's more... They seem more interested in... For now, at least. Mr. Kerr said you made it back home safe. Kerr? No. Trust. He's... Hold on,
The signal
someone's coming.
went silent.
Rollo? Rollo, where are you?
Luca held still, waiting for a response, his pounding heartbeat marking the passage of time.
Okay. I think they're gone. Getting worse. I can barely
Rollo's
hear you.
voice began to fade.
Losing signal. Not much time. Mission control. Yeah. You need to... The treehouse. The
With
treehouse.
that, the signal died for good.
Was he trying to say... What was he trying to say about the treehouse? What's at the treehouse? The antenna. He wants me to use the antenna in the treehouse to get a better signal. Rollo,
Luca
you're a
grabbed the
genius.
walkie-talkie.
Hook up the walkie-talkie to the radio in the treehouse. Let's go.
Luca heard a group of footsteps approaching. He dashed behind the bushes to avoid being spotted.
So, we all understand our role? You can count on me. I think we need more time. This wasn't the original plan.
Mr. Tolliver paused, shifting his eyes to one side.
We're all in danger now. I, for one, refuse to sit idly by while that danger persists. Refuse. Hiram, you just keep your wits about you.
Mr. Tolliver took one long, quiet breath.
You're right. You can count on me. I just wish we could have made that deal with Heiress about time. Her resources would have still come in handy. As I said, I had no time to contact her after your call this morning. Glanced at me. How is Luca holding up? He's fine. We shouldn't lose sight of the fact that this is all... I know very well what all of this is for. We have no choice. Operation Sparkplug has a new objective. Are we in agreement?
The three shared a determined look.
Good. We'll reconvene after the festival. Gran? Why are you meeting with Mrs. Fratelli and Mr. Tolliver late at night? Hey, Luca. Yeah. Go on, you scared me. How long have you been there? Oh, just a few minutes. Earlier today, I saw Mr. Tolliver and your Gran enter the diner together. When my shift at the East End was over, they still hadn't left. So I used the greatest tool of an investigative reporter. Time. When they left, I tailed them here. What do you think they're up to? Whatever it is, they seem organized and determined. They mentioned the festival. Yeah, I heard that too. Has your Gran been doing anything different recently? Anything strange? We got a phone call this morning and rushed out the door. Call from Hiram Tolliver? Seems he was either furious or terrified, or both. Luca, be careful out there. I think we might be in the middle of the scoop of a lifetime. I will. Aren't you coming out? No, I'm gonna stake out here for a bit longer. See you, Luca. Keep up the good work, Dawn. I did it. I changed the sign. Splendid. Did anyone see you? I don't believe so. You were right. It was simple enough just to rearrange the letters. Odd choice for a prank, though. In situations such as these, odd.
The two boys shared a mischievous grin.
Can't wait for everyone to see the big reveal. Should be quite memorable. Let's make ourselves scarce for now. Can I go this way? I've never tried. No, I can't. I'd better hurry up to the treehouse. Oh, sorry, I'm going the wrong way for the treehouse. Got electricity, which is nice. Hook up the walkie-talkie to the radio in the treehouse. Rollo. Rollo, are you there? I'm at the treehouse now, Rollo. Mr. Kerr said you were alright. What happened out there? Dang it, Rollo, where are you? Who's there?
Luca could only see a cloaked shape behind the rocket.
I've got weapons in here, so you'd better come out right
He
now.
strained to hear as a muffled voice began.
Weapons? How could you hurt something that's already dead?
Fear gripped Luca's throat.
Who are you? What, you don't recognize me? I guess I don't even recognize myself.
Luca stared at the ground for a moment, trying to place the dampened voice. The figure shifted slowly from behind the rocket, revealing itself to Luca.
I'm a monster. Now they hunt me like the beast I am.
Luca reached over empathetically. Iggy's tone jolted to dejected anger.
Don't touch me. This is all your fault.
Luca slumped to the ground, overwhelmed.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I lost control. So you couldn't control yourself for a second. And I get to be like this forever. There must be a way to fix this. Oh, you're gonna be my savior? Perfect little Luca saves the day. His positive attitude and power of friendship. None of this matters. There's no time. They're after me. They chased me all through the wheat block. I only came here to hide. Hide from who? Who's after me? Rollo? It's not safe, Luca. Rollo, where are you? The treehouse. I'm at the treehouse, Rollo. Where are you? No, Luca. The treehouse isn't safe. They said they were going to the treehouse. I was trying to tell you to stay away from the treehouse. Who said they're going to the treehouse? The clipboards. What did I tell you? The perennial harvest wackadoos are after me. They've been chasing me, yelling questions at me. What sort of questions? They were saying the same stuff they always do. But it's different now. Less asking, more threatening. We're gonna figure this out, Iggy. Yeah, well, thanks. Hello? Is anyone present in this arboreal domicile? Oh, they found me. Luca, what's happening? You stay here, and I'll see what they want. That's a lot of them. Hello, Mr. Van Horn. We would love to hear your thoughts. Do you have any time for an informal chat? We will be brief. Your time is valuable to us. Be down in just a second. Of course. We have a problem. Luca, you gotta get out of there. Who's out there? Is it them? Yeah, it's the clipboards, alright. A bunch of them. How many? Maybe all of them. And yeah, you were right. They're saying the same stuff, but with the creepy knob cranked to 10. Might young Iggy be present? We would love to hear his thoughts. Run.
Iggy slumped to his knees.
I don't know what to do. I'm just so tired. Luca, what do we do?
Luca grabbed the walkie-talkie and headed for the window.
Follow my lead.
Luca and Iggy climbed up the back of the treehouse to its roof, where Rollo had constructed his MCDC, the Mission Control Defense Cannon. From behind the crowd of clipboards, William Kerr strode forward, a warm smile on his face.
Iggy, there you are. You gave us all a heck of a scare. Go away, just leave me alone. Oh, I'm sorry, Iggy, but no can do. Don't worry though, we're here to help. Help? Then why are you chasing me? Luca, can you talk some sense into your pal here? Just look at him. He's not well. What's wrong with him? What did that gunk do to him? Well, that's a pretty honkin' big question, Luca. Sorry, just putting my watch under charge. All you need to know is that he's sick. He's real sick, Luca. I just need you to let us up there and take care of him. You told me Rollo was okay and he's back at his place resting. He is. Poor fellow just got left. That's a lie. That's a hurtful thing to say. I thought we were buddies. Why? Because he lets you ramble on like a wackadoo? Nobody likes you, you creep.
Kerr's smile faltered.
Why don't you pop on down here so we can have a face-to-face? Yelling like this is gonna give us a heck of a sore throat. Who wants
Luca's
that?
grip tightened on the MCDC.
What did you do to Rollo, you liar? Well, shucks, Luca. The only teeny fib I told you was he was at home. He is rested, and he is perfectly safe. For now, at least. What happens to him next is up to you, Luca. Look around. You're in quite the pickle, and I'm the only person in the whole wide world who can help you. You get to decide how this ends.
Luca's
Time
mind
for a
raced.
choice, Chad.
He was caught in a trap. What do you do when there's no hope? He wiped his cheeks with a sleeve. What are you gonna do, Luca?
Luca drew himself up and decided the only option he had left was fight.
Luca drew himself
That was
up
literally the only option
and
I had
decided to
left.
take the only option they had left. Fight. He swung the Mission Control Defense Cannon around, aiming it confidently at the smirking face of William Kerr.
Hey, Mr.
Luca
Kerr.
summoned his most insolent demeanor.
Rollo sends his regards. Hell yeah. Hey, that was uncalled for. More than a little rude. And just plain unsanitary. Luca, I really did think we were good pals. What a shame it has come to
Kerr
this.
turned his back on the two boys.
End this.
With a nonchalant wave of the hand, he made his exit. As the clipboards began to slowly advance on the treehouse, Luca looked to Iggy with resignation. The end.
Okay.
That escalated quickly. Maybe discretion was the better part of valor here. Let's put a pin in this for now.
We need to tickle instead of strange. Time to bust out the tickles.
Well, time to bust out the tickles.
Hey Tish, wanna see something cool? Yup. Check it out.
Beck lunged forward and began to tickle under...
That was a hell of a lunge. What? The Tish, is she tickling you? Yup. Yup. Yup.
Tears began to form in Tish's eyes as she gasped for breath between gales of laughter.
Yeah, the choose your own adventure ones. What was it like? If you do X, turn to page Y. If you do Z, turn to page 8.
Beck redoubled her efforts until Tish finally had enough.
He seems nice. Sorry for the interruption. I think you were just threatening us?
Iggy's eyes darted around, a realization dawning on his face that he was now outnumbered.
I just remembered. I have somewhere to be. See you around.
Iggy kicked at the puddle before making his escape.
Whoa. What a little creep. Beck, I think you got a little
Beck
ooze.
shook the ooze out of her hair as best as she could.
Is it bad? It depends. What are your feelings about having a more mature, refined look? Oh god.
Chapter 4. The Best Policy. Luca paused for a moment, catching his breath. He'd only just met Beck, and somehow he already managed to drag her into this mess. Hopefully he could make it up to her. But finding Rollo was his primary concern.
I hadn't thought about choose your own adventure books in like forever. Luca, what the hell are you doing out here? And why did a kid with grey hair just run past us
Roxy
in
and
a
Fitz
panic?
looked drained. It was clear they'd spent all day searching.
It's Beck. I don't care who she is. What happened? We're just helping look for Rollo. Luca, I need you to start telling me the
Roxy's
truth.
temper could often be dismissed as the impatience of an older sibling, but this was the most intense Luca had ever seen her. Her eyes were wild and unfocused, looking straight through Luca.
We're running
In
out
a
of
torrent
time.
of rambled words and tears, Luca broke down.
Rollo and I weren't just playing in the Weep Woods yesterday. We were investigating the lights at the old Valentine warehouse. But someone was there in a strange suit, and we hid in the dumpster and had a heavy bag dropped on us. And I think it was a body. So we ran, but we split up. I know I ran home. And it's all my fault, and now my best friend may never come back. Wow. Just wow.
Roxy, still exhausted and angry, softened briefly as her eyes hunted the ground in thought. With a determined sigh, she looked up at Luca.
It's not your fault, Luke. Rollo's gonna be okay. I promise.
Roxy drew herself up.
I'm gonna fix this. Luca, go home. But I want to help. This is too dangerous for a kid. I can't just sit around. I have to do something.
Roxy tried to think of the safest place to send Luca.
You go back to that little tree house you two like to play in. Wait there in case Rollo shows up. Sounds like a plan?
Luca wiped his cheeks and gave a quick nod.
You did the right thing telling me the truth. Now scoot. Do you really believe its story? What other option do we have? Things have been strange around here leading up to the festival. My dad has been acting really weird. Well, weirder than normal.
Looking into the puddle, Roxy rubbed her arms to warm up.
Why is it so cold here? This place gives me the willies. What up?
Mr. Nuncreed jumped with a start.
Oh. Whoa, don't sneak up on an old fellow like that. Sorry. Who were you talking to? What?
Luca motioned to the phone booth.
Oh, no. I was just checking because I thought I heard it ring. But the damn thing never does, of course. Yeah, I've never seen anyone use it, really. Whole thing's a waste of money, if you ask me. Any word from Rollo yet? Not yet. Look at that nice little bird. Let's see if we can get the mouse on this screen. No, we can't. A nice little bird next to the E in drugstore. Just chilling. Not yet. Long time for a boy to lose his way. Rollo knows those woods too well to get lost. I suppose you're right. Silly boy's antics have the whole town worried sick. Antics? We all know Rollo likes to play his little pranks. I think this is a prank. What other possible explanation could there be? He's not playing a prank. He didn't get lost. Someone took him. I know it. How would you know that? Unless... Luca, is there something else that you know?
Mr. Nuncreed gently placed one of his substantial hands on Luca's shoulder.
Dang it, boy, if there's something you know, something that could help your friend, you need to tell folk.
Luca peered up at Mr. Nuncreed. Kind eyes warmed a stern face. There was a deeper emotion hiding beneath it all. It was subtle, but Luca could sense something eating away at him.
It was a shame.
There was a shame lurking behind those eyes. A deep sadness. If Mr. Nuncreed was that worried about Rollo, maybe he could help.
Yesterday, Rollo and I were messing around with the old balance.
Mr. Nuncreed raised an eyebrow.
Both of you? You were with Rollo when he went missing? Not exactly. I was hiding in the dumpster. Dumpster? What were you doing in there? At first we were just looking around. Then someone in a strange yellow suit came out and dumped something on us. We both got scared and ran. That was the last I saw of him. You got scared by some garbage? Well, that's why you don't go skulk in someone's dumpster. But it wasn't garbage. I think it was a body. I'm sure it was just some trash. No, there was a name tag. It said Deep Engineering.
Mr. Nuncreed's shoulders slumped.
I wish you wouldn't have said
A
that.
deep sigh bellowed from his chest.
Why did you have to? I tried, Luca. God knows I tried to keep you safe.
Luca attempted to take a step back, but Nuncreed's hand clamped down on his shoulder.
But you Van Horns just can't help yourself, can you? We're all so close. Supposed to be fun.
With a firm shove, Nuncreed manhandled Luca into the phone booth.
What are you doing? Out of my hands.
The
now.
door latched shut with a mechanical hiss.
Crap.
As Luca pounded the glass, the floor dropped from under his feet. The inside of the phone booth was now a loose capsule, plummeting at gravity's whim. Luca winced and pressed his hands to the walls. As he braced for impact, the capsule hurried to a surprisingly smooth stop. He felt a cold rush of air and opened his eyes with hesitance. Two large figures in hazmat suits occluded his view. Luca heard the deep, resigned voice of Mr. Nuncreed over an intercom. He knows too much. The end. Wait. No. This isn't the end. I know there's still much more. Somehow this went wrong. Okay, let's try something else.
I guess we'll struggle with this fella. This story is about struggle.
This is a story about struggle. Luca could hear a machine humming somewhere nearby. He felt around wildly, searching for something, anything that could help. His hands found a hard object, maybe a tile? He yanked it free, lifting the cold stone. Let me go! Luca swung the tile as hard as he could at the shape that still held fast to his leg. He heard the crack of glass as the stone hit the assailant's mask. With a muffled yelp, the hand let go. Luca was free and scrambled to the door. He never looked back once on the long run home. Chapter 3. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. This is
The
fine.
next morning, it was quieter than usual at the breakfast table. Only the sound of silverware and chewing interrupted the awkward silence.
I finished jarring a mess of jam last night. So that'll need to get delivered to town today. Okay. So what did you and Rollo get up to yesterday? Oh, Rollo had things to do, so I sort of just poked around town. I set the jam down by the front door. There's 2 batches to drop off. One for Mr. Tolliver at the Bag and Wag. And another one from Mrs. Fratelli at the diner. Her 2 co-conspirators. Curious. Oh, and Mr. Nuncreed? He said he wanted some more. I suspected as much. Yes, he seems to have taken a particular interest in my jam. There are some extras in the basket for that enthusiastic gentleman. Just make sure Mr. Fratelli and Tollivers get the ones on top. No problem. Off with you now, while the day is still young. Hello? It's Juniper Hartford. Before you hang up, just hear me out. I have business proposition. A simple matter, because we both have the same problem that needs solving. Very well. We can meet tonight. Okay. Sorry about yesterday, Roxy can be so annoying. But good news, no more boring chores for me today. Did you make it to the old Valentine warehouse? So, what did you find? Give me the dirt. Something happened. There was someone else there. What? Who was it? Was it aliens? Knew it would be aliens. No. Zombies? No. Alien zombies? What else could it possibly be? Rollo. I've got to deliver these to town first. We can catch up after. Ooh, is it a whole thing? Sounds like a whole thing. Yeah, we shouldn't talk about it here. Maybe at the treehouse tonight. I'm not sure what this treehouse is that you speak of. Meet me at Mission Control. Roger that, Space Cadet. Jam delivery coming through. Wait, what's your step? Oh, sorry. There was a whole family of beetles here. They've gone missing. I thought they just sort of wandered around. Everyone has a home, Luca. Even
Luca
beetles.
checked the soles of his sandals.
I think we're okay. It's weird that they're gone. The fact they went missing when the festival preparations began. You think the noise scared them away? Come on. Just watch where you step, okay? Oh, hold on. There we go. No clipboard here, interestingly. Well, if it isn't my favorite little jam runner. Hey, Mrs. Fratelli. Look
She
at you.
leaned forward and pinched Luca's cheek.
You're all skin and bones. Is your gran not feeding? She is, it's just... I understand. You know, I taught your mama how to cook back in the day. You may not even remember, but you and her used to help out in the dome. See that picture over there? That's you helping your mama build that thing. So cute running around in your little apron taking orders. The whole situation just breaks my heart, what happened with Eleanor. I've got a feeling she's out there somewhere, yearning to be with you again. Do you think it's as well can keep a mother away from her
Luca
son?
shifted the basket uncomfortably.
Oh yes, let's see
Mrs.
here.
Fratelli lifted the cloth and inspected the jam.
Ah, they even have my name.
She
How
carefully
thoughtful.
lifted out her jars of jam.
Tell your gran hello from me, Luca. Will do.
Luca squinted at the faded photo of him and his mom at the diner. Memories of that day came flooding back.
Oh, flashback. Gee, this place is going off. I'm ready to help, Mama. Alright, little buckaroo. It's up to us to feed these folks while Mrs. Fratelli is away. I've got to deal with the inventory before I can start cooking. Do you think you can handle taking some orders in the meantime? Yes, Mama. Aren't you a little young to be waiting tables? I'm just helping out. My father had me hustling when I was your age as well. Father always says, children are to be sails, pulling a family ever forward. That doesn't sound very fun. There's plenty of time for fun. For instance, Father and I would make time to have lunch together once a
Luca
month.
glanced at the empty seat across from Gus.
Did I come back? Oh no. Turns out Father was too busy to have lunch today. I'll just go ahead and eat alone. Oh. Silver lining is without him around, I can have my usual. A nice stack of cold cuts topped with a pile of sloppy chili. Oh, we're on the other side. Nice stack of cold cuts. That doesn't seem right. Is that right? Here you are. Cold cuts with steaming hot chili on top. I call it the hot and cold. That's perfect, thank you. Good evening, mister. Gadzooks, they've shrunk the wait
Jeff
staff.
slapped the table and gave Luca a toothy grin.
How's your pops doing? He's been busy these days. I know the feeling. Tell him that fish and wrong he ordered will be ready next week, will you? Sure thing. I've been in the mood for something sweet. You got a burger that can satisfy a sweet tooth? Sweet burger? Yeah, and top it off with some grilled cactus. Grilled cactus? Heart wants what the heart wants. Sweet and cactus. It sure is a dish. Here's your order. I call it the sweet and stabby. Ha! Now that's a burger with bite. Hi, Roxy. Luke. I'm helping. Wow, hopefully your work ethic will rub off on Roller. What can I get you? I'm not really feeling like a burger. What about a chicken sandwich with bacon on top? Coming right up. That does sound pretty nice. So that also looks suspiciously like a burger. Here you go. I call it Love Me Tenders. Nice. Looks like we're missing a few things. Why don't you run out and grab some more ingredients? Okay, I'll be back. Let's say hi to the mayor. If I could just left be and you'd be left alone, young Mr. Van Horn. Oh, sure thing. Sorry to bother you. It's just that Mr. Kerr has asked me to make the opening speech at the festival. Being mayor and all, you might expect me to be a charismatic speaker. Truth is, I'm terribly nervous. I really don't think I'm cut out for this sort of thing. Cut out for being mayor or for public speaking? Both, I suppose. Never really chose any of this. More of a duty to my family, for our legacy. Sounds like a heavy burden. As for the festival, just speak from your heart. I'm sure it will be great. What Dawn's got to say for herself. Hey, Dawn. Hey, Luca, what's up? I got you on jam delivery, huh? Yep. Have you seen the new kid around yet? Why did Windows Explorer just open all of a sudden? New kid? Yeah, came in from the big city. Her parents both got jobs here. But get this, one of them is working for William Kerr and Perennial Harvest. The other is working for Heiress Valentine. And the Valentines represent Beacon Pines Park. Perennial Harvest has positioned itself as this town's future. Must make for some interesting table conversations. I can imagine. Mr. Wilder, I trust you have time to chat.
Heiress Valentine, oldest of Sharper Valentine's children, and heir to the Valentine fort, had a way of making questions seem like demand.
Certainly. What seems to be the problem?
Mr. Wilder had learned to assume that if he was hearing from Heiress, it was because she had taken issue with something he had put in the paper.
I couldn't help but notice the front page of my morning paper was consumed with stories about this silly festival. Well, yes, that is the news of the day, but there was no mention of the museum, nor the foundation through which it was endowed. I'm sorry, Miss Valentine. My readers are more so interested in this town's future rather than any one family in particular. There was a time, Mr. Wilder, when the goings-on of my family was the only thing this town cared about. Well, things change, man. And you know, changes are dangerous. You finish that thought, I'll make that monocle a permanent fixture on your neck. My apologies. Good day, Miss Valentine. Did I give you the impression that the conversation was finished?
Mr. Wilder averted his gaze and began to polish.
Well, good day, Mr. Wilder.
Huddled at his counter, Hiram Tolliver was meticulously shining apples. More accurately, Hiram Tolliver was meticulously shining one.
Hello? Hey.
With a yelp, Mr. Tolliver fumbled the apple.
Oh, sorry. No bother, no
He
bother.
leaned forward and lowered his voice.
See, you have something for me. Yeah, Gran had some jam and you
He
supposed to
leaned
give it to
in
you?
a bit further.
Jam?
Yeah, these ones on top. She wrote your name
Mr.
on.
Tolliver leaned back, speaking loud enough for anyone to hear.
Ah, yes, the jam. Thank you so much for delivering this jam to me.
He reached forward and snapped up the jars of jam, giving Luca a little wink.
I shall put them on my shelves post haste. Excuse me. Okay, I should finish my deliveries. Of course. Of
He
course.
leaned in for a final whisper.
Of course.
How do you keep the ice cream cold? You keep them on ice. Where do you get the ice from? Don't know. Somewhere cold. How do they keep somewhere cold? Look, Bert. Do you want some ice cream or not? No, I'm good. Oop, didn't quite make it past that ring of bunting, I guess it's called. Yo! Got some jam for you, Mr. Nuncry. Luca, you seem chipper. Well, aside from being on delivery duty, it's a nice
Mr.
day.
Nuncreed eyed Luca for a moment, then nodded in agreement.
I suppose it is. You want your jam? Oh, right. Usually Juniper drops these off herself. Guess she's busy today. Anyway, this is the last delivery for the day. Oh, in that case,
Nuncreed snatched the basket from Luca.
I'll hold on to the basket until the next time I see your grain. Hey you. Anchovies or pineapple? Huh? Don't think. Just answer. Pineapple. Why? How old are you? 12. Perfect. Follow me. Who are you? Anyone ever tell you you ask too many questions? Just try to keep up, okay? What just happened? Well, hey, what a crazy coincidence. He's my new friend I was just telling you about. Oh, that's wonderful. Yep, we just hit it off. Oh, really? Get this, his favorite pizza topping in the whole world is pineapple. Go on.
Beck locked eyes with Luca. The look on her face was equal parts expectant and desperate.
Luca Van Horn, nice to meet you. I'm Nelly, and this is Leona? Iona? Iona? We're Beck's
Beck
parents.
gave Luca a quick nudge.
Oh yeah, Beck told me all about you. Already feels like we've known each other for years. You both can stop obsessing about me making friends. Oh, darling, we never doubted you. Just that for children with fewer than 5 close friends, the probability of stunted development doubles. Well, 1 down, 4 to go, I guess. What Nelly means is that we just want this move to be as easy on you as possible. You can relax. A friend has been friended. This calls for a celebration. Luca, you must join us for dinner tonight. Dinner? Wow, another coincidence. I actually already asked him and he said he would love to. It's just wonderful. In that case, we should pick up some groceries. You two don't get into too much trouble now. Wow, I can't believe that worked. Thanks a ton. You're welcome. I owe you one. My mums are great and all, but they can be a bit much sometimes. Our house is a little cottage next to the big mansion place. Wait, you live on the Valentine estate? Yeah, that's the spot. Meet by that big creepy gate. Don't be late, or I'm back to square one with this whole friend rift. Great, see you there. But we're meant to meet at the mission control, right?
Jeff's hardware closed down about a year ago. The effects of the foul harvest stretched wide. When there are no crops in the field, tractors don't need fixing.
Good morning, Jeff. What's so good about it? Another day further down the tubes, if you ask me. Come on now, it's not all that bad. The festival's coming up. The festival. Old man Valentine used to put on a cockamamie shindigs all the time. Where did that get us? Well, it's Perennial Harvest putting on its one. They're doing it for the whole town. As far as I see it, the difference between the old Valentine company and then this new Perennial Harvest
Jeff
outfit,
dug through his pockets for...
is the difference between this empty soup can and this brown banana. But those are both garbage. Exactly. You seemed a lot chipper back in the day. More chipper back in the day there, Jeff. Suppose going out of business would do that to you. So who all lives in that house? Eris and Gus Valentine grew up there. And Solomon moved in a few years back. The creepy little kid in the vest? That sounds like the one. So just 3 people live in that huge thing? Bet a bunch of shady stuff happens all the time in a place like that. Not really. The Valentines pretty much keep to themselves. So it's empty and boring? Pretty much. What a waste. Mom says it used to be way busier, back before Sharper died. Or the foul harvest. Oh, that's like the 5th time someone mentioned this foul harvest thing. And you all use that ominous tone. Eventually you're gonna have to explain to me how that harvest got all fouled up. But we can't keep my parents waiting anymore. This way. Most kids would just have ditched me by this point. Why are you still here? You look like you could use some help. You know what, Luca? You're not so bad. Let's get through this as simply as possible. Just eat, smile, and nod. Fine. Great. Whatever you do, don't bring up their work. I think I can handle
Beck took
that.
a long breath, then gave a firm nod.
Here goes nothing.
Chapter 4. Dinner with the Moodwills.
Moodwill.
Ilona
That is an
Moodwill
interesting
was
one.
worried about change. A gardener at heart, she understood the necessity of change, relied on it even. But there was a difference between the controlled world of her plants and this cluttered cottage in a strange... Almost done. Nellie was a blur of activity, digging through boxes. Sorry, love. Couldn't find the dishes. We'll have to make do with paper plates. Dinner went by without much conversation. As she watched Beck and Luca finish up their pizza, Ilona let herself relax into the chair. The things she cared about were still here. Nellie finally had the job of her dreams. Beck was beginning to take root. Ilona's task was simply to tend to them. She could do that.
Another very nice kitchen. Where do you live? Oh, I live with my grandma. Over on the other side of the river. It's alright. My dad passed away in an accident at the fertilizer factory 6 years back. Oh, it did. My mum's been missing for a few months now. Like, missing?
Luca's eyes were fixed to his plate, pushing a chunk of pineapple around. Nellie was the one who eventually broke the silence.
Okay, how did you like the pizza? Oh, it was good. Very good. Normally we'd have put more effort
Ilona
into dinner.
nervously gestured toward the box.
We aren't fully settled in, and Beck had mentioned that it's your favorite. I'm sorry, are we just skipping the part where he said his mum was missing? Beck, I'm sorry, Luca, this move is all...
Luca wiped his face with his sleeve.
No, it's fine. So Beck said that you moved here for
Beck
work?
gave Luca a swift kick under the...
You meant that... What brought you to Beacon Pines? Oh, you were right the first time. We're here for work. Nellie won't tell you this, but she's a brilliant chemist. Interesting. She's brilliant. Perennial Harvest just made her the newest lead researcher of deep engineering. Makes it sound more impressive than it is. I'm just happy that I get to make a difference in the world. Perennial Harvest is at the forefront of evolving agriculture. There's something more useful than sprinkling water and excrement on the
Luca
ground.
glanced over to Beck. She seemed to be holding her breath.
What Nellie means, Luca, is there are different ways to grow plants. Yes, some people talk to their plants and hope for the best, and some people will happily leave their job to allow a loved one to pursue their dream. You swore you
Beck
didn't...
slammed her fist into the table, perhaps harder than she intended.
Hey, Luca, how about some dessert? I actually have to meet my friend Rollo
Luca
soon.
glanced outside to gauge the time. The sky was darker than he expected, filled with ominous clouds.
There's a storm brewing. I should get going. Oh, I didn't think there was any rain in the almanac. Yeah, almanacs aren't that useful around
Luca
here.
wiped his mouth one last time with his napkin and started to get up.
Thank you all for the pizza. It was really good. See you at the festival. wait up. I'll walk you home.
Surprised, Luca turned around. He knew Rollo could be prickly around new people, but Beck seemed cool. Rollo would warm up to her eventually. Probably.
Hopefully. Rumble? Or are we gonna have them break? Break.
Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to break, revealing patches of star-filled summer night. Moonlight filtered down, shimmering in the treetops.
Sure, you can meet Rollo. You're not going home? No, I promised Rollo I'd tell him
Luca
about...
stopped himself mid-sentence.
Promised you tell him what? Spit it out, bub. We're thick as thieves now. The juicy secret you've got to tell me. Okay, you can come to the treehouse and I'll tell you both what happened. Heck yeah. Alright, gamers, let's go to the treehouse.
Luca saw Beck skulking by the gate.
Are you telling me there's nothing mysterious or creepy about this place? Mostly boring and empty. I refuse to believe it. Big spike gate, blooming mansion, rich reclusive owners. It even smells big.
Beck grabbed the wrought iron bars and shook the gate.
Mark my words, you decadent nightmare house. You will reveal your secrets to me. What did you do? First of all, I told you so. Second, hide. That's Eris Valentine. That's she talking to. I expect you to return that suit to working order. In working order, of course. As long as everything proceeds as planned. There's nothing to worry about. The only thing I'm worried about is what's rightfully mine. If that means making some unsavory alliances, so be it. I couldn't agree more. There comes a time to suspend hostilities. I'll deal with our common threat. Now this is what I was talking about.
Beck's voice was an excited whisper.
Proper shady stuff. Someone in a suit like that tried to grab me yesterday. Seriously? You do understand when this all inevitably fails, I will deny everything. I wouldn't expect anything less of you. You just worry about your part in this, and let me handle the rest. I can't wait to see the look on that rude girl's face. Yes, the truth will come to light. I'm still surprised you're so comfortable with the potential collateral damage. If there's one thing I've learned, that change is painful. Wow, I was expecting shady. That's just flat out supervillain talk. If you don't mind me asking, why? Why are you doing all of this?
The mysterious figure retracted their mask, hair pushing out from all corners.
Yes, I had a feeling that was the case. Family.
A chill ran down Luca's spine. His vision blurred. Beck stifled a sharp wince, and Luca looked down to see himself wrenching her hand.
An answer I can certainly respect.
Gran tousled her hair back under the face mask.
I mean, she clearly didn't put her hair under the face mask. That seems unsanitary, Gran. Just remember, keep everything nice and normal until the festival. I don't need lessons in rouses.
Gran gave Eris a curt nod and disappeared into the night. Chapter 5.
I think that's the furthest we've gotten. Chapter 5.
What big ears you have. Lucas sat shivering in the bushes, staring at his feet. After checking to make sure the coast was clear, Beck gave him a gentle tug on his sweater.
What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. Why were you so scared when that old lady took it? Of the old lady in the hazmat suit? That was my gran. That was your gran? Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for all this. Let's just get to that tree house and figure out things there. Lead the way. For the last time, there's nothing to worry about. Of course, we're not
The
worried.
clipboard finished writing with a scratchy flourish and looked up.
Just dotting our I's and crossing our T's. Or maybe try finding your P's and Q's.
Mr. Nuncreed, arms crossed over his paunch, gave an exhausted sigh.
If there's anything you need knowing, you'll know it. Absolutely. If you'll just sign here acknowledging everything is accurate, we'll be out of your hair in a flash. Oh, for the love of...
He snatched the pad and scribbled his name so hard the pen nearly snapped.
There. And would you like my eternal soul
The
as well?
clipboards looked at each other for a moment, almost pondering the possibility, then broke into laughter as they walked away.
Ha 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 ha. Don't mind us, Mr. Uncreed. As you were. The answers you seek will be revealed to you in due time. The question is, the figure in turn, are you prepared to live with the truth? I don't know. What's good? Another day, another dollar. See you tomorrow, Z. Have you noticed how all the perennial harvest folks order the same drink? Decaf cappuccino with extra foam. Why? I don't know. Just thought it was a little bit odd. Pretty weird for sure. Well, the customer's always right. See you bright and early tomorrow. Can't wait.
William Kerr and Gus Valentine proudly surveyed the half-covered festival banner.
It's all coming together quite nicely. Couldn't have done it without
The
you.
mayor gave a half-hearted shrug.
Not sure about that. Nonsense. That reminds me, I wasn't able to thank your sister for her contributions. Yes, she has been indisposed of late. She doesn't much like me, does she? Oh no, that's not it at all. She's just been busy. Of course. Regardless, I would be forever grateful if you could pass my thanks on to her. The History Museum adds a real air of import to the whole affair. We couldn't very well celebrate the story of Beacon Pines without including the Valentines. Kind of rhymes. My father was a great man. You're darn tootin' he was.
Kerr locked his arm on Gus's shoulder.
But I mean the entire Valentine family. Present company included. Can I ask you something, Mr. Kerr? Call me William. Ask away. William, why are you doing all this? Gosh, I've never felt one needed a compelling reason to throw a party. Not just the festival. All of this. There's gotta be 100 down on their luck towns out there. Why is Perennial Harvest so invested in helping Beacon Pine? You know what I love most about the agriculture business? Seeds. Seeds? Yep, little bundles
With a
of
glimmer in
potential.
his eye, Kerr gestured grandly toward the horizon.
You treat a seed right, nurture it, feed it, and grow into something truly special. See potential here? Undoubtedly. The seed of greatness is already under our feet. All it needs is a little nudge. The right leadership, of course. Oh, good night, Mayor Valentine. I'm gonna go sleep in my bank. Old Pickler's Pond. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, the treehouse is just a little further on from here. So what's your buddy Rollo like? Rollo, he's... Rollo. Not particularly helpful. Sorry, I've just never thought about it. Lots of energy. He's funny even when he's not trying to be. Things have been tough for his family since the foul harvest. About damn time he told me what this foul harvest thing is. Kind of a long story. Hit me with the highlights then. Okay. There used to be a fertilizer company here called Valentine's. They were kind of a big deal. Oh, big deal fertilizer. It was a big deal to us. Their stuff really worked. Farmers loved it. So Valentine's grew and grew. Beacon Pines pretty much grew around it. Most everyone in town either worked for Sharp or Valentine or used as fertilizer. Things were good. I'm sensing a big but. Around 6 years ago, Sharp or Valentine suddenly died. Something changed. Changed how? Could have been a bad batch. Maybe it was in the water or air or soil. Nobody knows. But all the crops died, and everyone blamed the Valentines. Foul harvest. Yeah. Valentine's fertilizer went out of business. Half the town lost their jobs. Sheesh. The next year the crops came back, but something was different. Plant a crop, do everything right, and it's sort of a crapshoot what happens. No one knows why? Nope. I take it Roller's farm got the short end of the stick. Yep, for some reason their farm was hit harder than others. That sucks. Things have gotten better since Perennial Harvest came to town. The Beacon Pines Reborn initiative. Yep, first thing they did was give the town a deep scrub. They even put us up in hotels. One town over for a week while they decontaminated the groundwater. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he wants to just have a, I don't know. Either that or just have like a puppet mayor. We better get going. Meet up with Roller at Treehouse. It's about time. I was about to give up and go home. Who's the new kid? Name's Beck. You must be Roller. I see my reputation precedes me. Welcome to Mission
Roller
Control.
waggled his head with pride.
You'll find we spared no expense in their construction. I've seen worse looking piles of junk. Thanks. Hey Luca, you know the security concerns we talked about? Yeah? While I was waiting, I made some improvement. Let me lock this baby down for a little test infiltration. Can't be too safe these days. Got the alarm from Among Us? He goes all out, doesn't he? Always. Lavish! Yeah. Kobe. Kobe. Where do you guys get all this junk in the first place? There's a guy in town named Jeff who trades us junk for snacks. Junk food for junk. Nice. So, pretty sweet security, right? It was imaginative, I'll give you that. Luca, are we sure we can trust the new recruit? I'll vouch for him. Thanks, I guess. Okay, Luca, you promised to fill me in about the Valentine warehouse.
Luca sucked in a long breath.
So like I said, there was someone there. What were they doing? I don't know, but the place was lit up and active. Maybe they were squatters. I don't think so, it seemed more organized. When the man pulled me in, I saw some sort of equipment running. A man pulled you in? Yeah, but I got away. You keep saying it was a man. They were wearing a mask, right? Yeah. And it could have been a woman. How did he get away? I grabbed a rock or something and broke their mask. They let go and I ran. Dang. That's intense. No wonder you freaked out when you saw your grandmother. Yeah, that's the other part. On our way here, Beck and I saw Heiress Valentine meeting with Graham, wearing the same sort of
Roller let
hazmat
out a
suit.
low whistle.
They weren't there for idle chit-chat. It was a proper clandestine meetup. So let me get this straight. There's an operation in full swing at the Valentine warehouse. You were almost abducted by a strange man or woman in a protective suit. Then you saw your gran in the same suit talking to Heiress Valentine. Pretty much. I'm beginning to think this town is kinda awesome.
Rollo and Luca shot back a look.
No offense. And so we can logically conclude aliens or alien zombies have infiltrated the town. And their leader is your gran, and she tried to murder you. First of all, and for the last time, there are no aliens. Second, it couldn't have been Gran at the warehouse. I broke that person's mask to get away. The mask Gran was wearing wasn't damaged. But she's definitely hiding something. Maybe. Her Gran is weird, but she might be the most boring person in the universe. All she does is sit around all day making jam. What could she possibly have to hide? I don't know. We haven't talked much since he moved in. Moved in? Her Gran isn't from here? No, she came a few months back to take care of me after his mum was missing. Did you know your Gran before? No, not really. It had been years since I'd seen her. Luca, don't take this the wrong way, but are we sure your Gran is on the up and up?
Luca gazed out the window.
I'm wondering if the Gran is the mother, perhaps. Because the ooze did have an aging effect on Iggy before. I'm just saying. Sounds like strange stuff has been happening since she showed up. Could say the same thing about your family, but you're right. Luca, your Gran is hiding something. Carl always said folks only bury stuff worth digging up. Me to investigate your house. My Gran really is hiding something? Don't you think I would have noticed by now? That's kind of the whole point of hiding something. Guess you're right. Gran's been leaving the house for hours at a time this week. That look that Beck is giving, damn. Sending me. I'll call you two tomorrow when the coast is clear. Then we can start getting to the bottom of this. Always game for a good snoop. You can count me in.
Chapter 6. Secret lair. Summer forged ahead, but the nights only seemed to grow colder.
No, you're right. But it did age Beck's hair. That's more what I was thinking of, I guess.
Luca walked home slowly under the pale starlight, cautious to avoid any more surprises lurking in the shadows. Reaching home, he slipped quietly into bed, half dreading what they might discover the next day.
What time is it? Is that? That must be the front door. Oh, we've got some pretty big thunder going on out here. Hopefully it's nothing too bad. Rollo, what on earth is this? That ridiculous thing on your head. Oh, this? It helps me think. Gonna need a lot more of those. Joke all you want. We'll see who's laughing when I crack this case wide open. The coast is clear? Yep, whatever she's been up to this week, it's been keeping her busy most of the day. Also, I just woke up, so I have literally no idea where she could possibly be. Very well. The game is afoot.
Luca and Beck rolled their eyes as Rollo strutted across.
If I were Gran, where would I hide my deepest, darkest secrets? Perhaps where you least expect.
Rollo flung open the cabinet with
Aha!
He coughed as a...
I think it's safe to assume that anything dusty isn't what we're looking for. Maybe that's what she wants us to think. Then again, any good detective knows not to trust their first hunch. First hunches are for suckers. Eureka! He's lit a fire in order to burn the evidence. Keeps that fire going every day, Rollo. Drat. It may already be too late. Just think of the mounds of documents lost, Ash. Okay. I'm gonna stop you right there. Can we just think for a moment? Luca, is there anywhere Gran doesn't want you to go? Yeah, the closet upstairs. Maybe it stands to reason that we should check there first. No dice, it's locked. Have a good one, Shadow. Hopefully the housework isn't too dull for you. And thanks for joining me for as long as you did. I'll See you around next Wednesday. Well. Look who stands to reason now. Also, there's a time attack that I'll be helping out with tomorrow morning, my time. I'll try and keep it posted over here. It's on Aurora de Mercedes' Twitch channel, I believe. So, if you want to have a look at that, spell Aurora correctly. Anyway, I'll put it on the Twitter. I have no idea where the key is. If it is really important, then she probably keeps it with her. Anywhere else? Here's her berry bushes. Who has ever thought, I'm going to take this important thing and tuck it in a bush? True. Anything else? Maybe something out of the ordinary? Well, he's always worried I'll break her fancy dishware in the kitchen. But it doesn't matter anyway, I can't reach the latch.
A look of realization crept onto Luca's face. All three kids snapped to glance at each other, then sprinted and turned toward the kitchen.
Alright, Roland. This is your time to shine. Ah yes, you've called upon my expert detective skills. Now I shall
Before he
proceed
could
with...
finish, Luca scrambled up Rollo's back.
Hey, this isn't my idea of detective work. Every squad needs a lockpick. And every good lockpick needs a sturdy head to sit on. This is beneath my standing. Stop complaining and hold still. Got it.
The three crowded around the hutch to peer in. With the glass doors opened, a perfect porcelain, their eyes searched for anything, but the only distinct feature was its impeccability.
Well, that was anticlimactic. Yeah. I don't really know what we were expecting. Like, oh hey, let's just lank on this
As
random
Beck pulled
teacup
on
and...
one of the teacups, it slanted forward with a hollow click. The entire hutch began to rustle and slide under its own power.
Seems like your gran has been doing some remodeling. Dude, only 2 types of people have secret layers. Evil masterminds and superheroes. So which one do we think she is? Guess we're about to find out. Okay, so more of an unhinged conspiracist vibe? Oh wow, this cannot be good. We need to look around before jumping to conclusion.
Luca jostled each cabinet drawer in turn. Only one was unlocked. He fingered through the filing cabinet, pausing at a bulging folder labeled Walter.
Walter?
For a long moment, he just stared at it.
What do you got there? It's my dad. Looks like some of his old medical files. Your dad was a
Luca
doctor.
nodded and caressed the label with his thumb.
Well, are you gonna read it? Here, let me help.
Rollo swiped the folder from the drawer and began leafing through the pages. He whistled to himself, barely looking at the text.
How about you actually read some of it? One sec. Dense documents such as these are a lot like a cheeseburger. Best to skip straight to the middle. That's where all the meaty bits live. Wow, I had no idea we were in the presence of a preeminent scholar in dense documents. And cheeseburgers. By all
He
means,
stopped at a
proceed.
page and mimed, holding up a monocle.
Here we are. Follow-up examination on Terence Wilby. Patient showed further signs of paleness and malaise. Body temperature continues to drop. He now describes soreness of muscles and joints. This is similar to the symptoms exhibited by Mrs. Wilby just a few days past. Still waiting on lab results from
Rollo
Joseph.
looked up with heightened surprise.
See? Creepy. Yeah, that's kinda disturbing. Who's Joseph? That's Mr. Nuncreed's name. Wait,
Rollo's finger traced across the page.
there's more scribbles in the margin. Could it be contagious? Mr. Wilby claims the tap water at his home has been contaminated. Perhaps environmental. Lab results only raise more questions. Like he came back to the report and made those notes. So it might be related to
Rollo
something else.
scanned through several more pages.
Here, the writing looks shaky. I just couldn't help it. This disease, or whatever it is, progresses so fast. And with his wife passing, Terrace's condition follows close behind, exacerbated by the loss. Enough is enough. I need to take matters into my own hands.
Luca, staring blankly at the cabinet this whole time.
What does it say next?
Rolo rustled the folder, trying to loose more pages.
That's where it ends. What? There has to
Luca
be more.
frantically shoved the remaining cabinet folders, trying to find another leap.
Luca, I think that's the only one. It's alphabetical, see? What did he mean? Enough is enough. How did he take matters into his own hands? This is bullcrap.
Luca slammed the drawer shut. A spider web of string connected photos of people from the town, interspersed with hastily scrawled notes.
Oh, I'm one of them now. Let me just get out of your way. Well, she sure kept herself busy. Is your brain a serial killer? Because I'm starting to get a vibe. Don't be ridiculous. Sure, she's just tracking the movements of everyone in town, out of the kindness of her heart. Puts little symbols on them. Yeah, Mr. Nuncrete has a checkbook. The clipboards are all inside a big circle. My mum's are both on there. Both with question marks. Gus Valentine has a question mark. Heiress has a question mark, but that's been crossed out. Mr. Kerr has a bullseye. The killer has chosen her next victim. I don't know what any of this means. Whatever it means, it's probably not good. I'm back. Dynamite? Barrels marked portion explosive. And jam jars? There's enough jam to feed the whole tent? What kind of incendiary jam is your grand making? You wouldn't have had me walking around town delivering bombs, right? Only one way to find
Rolo
out.
casually spun open a lid and dipped his finger in the jar. He
Huckleberries.
smacked his lips.
And a hint of brown sugar. And ink? What?
Rolo plunged his hand in the jar, fishing out a soggy slip of paper.
Aha!
Rolo offered the slimy note to Luca and licked his fingers clean.
Addressed to Mrs. Fratelli. Grand Jam Grand? As last night I used the disguise heiress provided to scout the location. Timing window should be possible. Operation Sparkplug is a go. Oh man, are they doing a heist? Whatever it is, it can't be good. More a bombshell than a bomb, right? You're new here, so I'll let it slide. But I'm the bad joke guy around here. Ah! Good fists, Luca.
They crowded around a worn-down old map of Beacon Pines.
Ooh, this looks like a treasure map. Not every old map is a treasure map, Rolo. Yeah, but every treasure map is an old map. Can't fault that logic. Look, there's even a pathway drawn on it. It starts at the entrance to the town. And if we
Rolo
follow
carefully traced the path with his finger.
it leads
He
right
jabbed
to
down at the end point.
Town Square. The fountain in the middle of the town. It's a weird place to hide treasure. Well, that doesn't look like treasure to me. The end of the path is the same symbol as the used explosives over here. So it's not hiding treasure. A real bummer. Rolla, what's the thing you've been most excited about for the past month? A festival. Ooh. Did you just say gulp? That feels like a gulp kind of situation. Everyone will be gathered near the center of town. You're gonna blow up the festival! Not if we stop her. What was that?
Luca looked up from the map.
What was what? No, I heard it too. That was the front door. Which means someone just shut the front door. Which means someone's upstairs. Shh, quiet. Hit the lights.
Beck flicked off the light, and they became statues in the dark. Overhead, creaking floorboards bent under slow, deliberate steps. kids looked up, the tilt of their necks following each footfall. Then suddenly, it stopped. Without realizing, they'd been holding their breath. All three exhaled shakily and glanced at each other. A muffled male voice broke the silence. A final few footsteps reached the entrance above them, and the voice now echoed down the stairs.
Anyone doing that?
The three kids shuffled to the corners without a peep. As he began to descend the stairs, the man's voice punctuated every new thump.
Yoo-hoo.
Thump.
I'm not here to hurt anyone.
Thump.
I'm just here to help. Just
Thump. At the bottom step, the man paused, squinting to search the room for signs of life.
huh? Guess it's
Rollo
not.
shifted suddenly. Luca gave him an intense, chastising look and whispered through clench.
Don't do it, Rollo.
It was too late. Rollo was already inching toward the stairway. He screeched as he charged toward the shadowy figure.
Flaming chicken coat.
With all his weight, Rollo tackled the man to the ground.
Rollo? A mysterious creepy man? Anyone there?
From the dark corner, they saw something move.
Well, I didn't know if I had it in me. There was only one way to find out. Holy crap, Rollo, that was awesome. Wait, did you just kill that person?
Luca scrambled to the hunched figure on the ground. Pressing his fingers to the man's neck, he sighed with relief.
You sure clobbered him good, Rollo. He's knocked
As
out
Beck
cold.
flicked back on the light, Luke.
Mr. Troller? Tolliver?
Chapter 7. The Interrogation of Hiram Tolliver. Still unconscious, Mr. Tolliver slumped heavily in a shoddy old chair. His hands were bound with rope, his feet tied with some loose string. The kids huddled in a circle, discussing their plan. One thing was certain. They couldn't just let Mr. Tolliver go. They needed to know what he was doing in Luca's house. After some deliberation, it was decided.
Good cop, chill cop, apparently. Classic.
They'd run the classic good cop, chill cop interrogation.
I'll handle this. Just gotta play it cool.
Luca walked calmly to the light switch, flicking it off and on a few. Mr. Tolliver shook his head, gathering his...
Golly, I sure got my bell
He
rung.
looked over to find Luca, who returned a calming...
Sorry, Mr. Tolliver. This was all a big mistake. Luca, what's going on here? Why do you have me strapped down? No one's fault, really. Rollo just got a little started.
Rollo and Beck emerged from hiding to give a timid wave.
Well, alright. Mistakes happen. You kids gave old Hiram a good scare. Let's just get out of these ropes and call it
Luca
even.
glanced over to Rollo and Beck, who replied with skeptical looks.
Mr. Tolliver, why are you in my grand's basement? I'm here to help, of course. Help with what? It's my grand up. If you just cut me loose, I can show you. How do I know we can trust you, though?
Mr. Tolliver exhaled with disappointment.
Luca, have I ever done wrong by you? No. And since your grand moved to town, haven't I been nothing but welcoming? Yeah. So why would I turn my back on your family now? It's just... this stuff seems pretty weird. A board with names of people from town? An archive of my dad's old, disturbing patient
Luca
notes?
gestured to the corner.
Barrels of explosives? I can explain everything. You just need to understand. You kids deserve
Luca
an
looked again
explanation.
to Rollo and Beck. This time they shrugged. Luca began to slowly loosen the binding. Mr. Tolliver gently rubbed his wrist.
That's a good way. This all makes sense in
He
time.
edged imperceptibly toward the stairs as he spoke.
You see, this town has secrets, Luca. A very dark past indeed.
Before the kids had even noticed his movement, Mr. Tolliver was at the light switch.
A past that must be
He
brought
punctuated his final words by flicking the switch and rushing up the stairs.
light. Son of...
Beck darted to the wall and turned back. it was too late. Rollo confirmed what they all heard.
He just locked us down
Mr.
here.
Tolliver's muffled voice came from behind the door.
I wasn't lying, you know. This is for your own good. You kids just keep tight down there and let the adults handle
They
this.
looked bewildered at each other.
Play it cool, huh? Not now, Beck.
They heard the staccato thump of quick steps. The kids looked down in resignation. This isn't how it goes in Hank Atomic. For some reason, they'd always assumed it was up to them to save their town. Luca opened his mouth, hoping to conjure some magical words to make this right. Only a hollow croak escaped. The end. Well, we certainly aren't going to find a grand resolution to our tale. Back to the drawing board.
Indeed. I guess we're gonna rumble the clouds this time.
Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to rumble with ominous thunder.
That's more appropriate for tonight in Sydney. You sure we can make it home before the storm
Luca
kicks off?
surveyed the roiling clouds.
I'd say the odds are good. Maybe you should stay here and I'll just make a break
At
for
that
it.
moment, the heavens opened up, unleashing torrential rain.
Care to recalculate those odds? Hurry inside, you two, before you catch a cold. Ah, it's a sweet bedroom. Luca, Nellie will keep trying to reach your ground on the phone. In the meantime, you two hold tight. I would love a loft bed, Chad. Not much to do up here. Most of my stuff is still in the boxes. Mind if I poke around? No, I guess. Oh wow. Rollo and I have a radio just like this in the treehouse. Probably not exactly like this one. Mom and I tore the whole thing down to the bolts. Fitted it with some state-of-the-art vacuum tubes. It was pretty awesome. She gets carried away sometimes. I think she feels guilty for working too much. But when she does have time for me, she showers me with high-tech
Luca
overcompensation.
flicked at one of the toggles.
I bet I can get all sort of stations at least. Not out here in the boonies. You wouldn't believe the stuff I can pick up back in the States. But around here it's all farm reports and static. Oh, shucks.
Luca bent down to examine the bouquet of wilting flowers. Judging by the odor, they were well past their prime.
Pungent.
He flipped open the attached card.
Happy trails from Coach Walker and all the Fairvale Condos. Boy, you weren't kidding about poking around, huh? Oh, is this from your own school? The most recent one, yeah. Some schools gave me going away cards. Some did flowers. And they're really trying to feel good about themselves, they did both. So you've moved a lot? Yeah, that's the thing with having a brilliant parent. There's always a better job somewhere else. These flowers would have lasted longer if you put them in some water. That's the sort of thing I would do if I cared. Or you cared enough to keep them as well. Something else I meant to be looking at. The microscope.
Luca squinted into the eye hole of the microscope.
This looks wild. What is it? Gum. Gum?
Luca adjusted the slide with his fingers to get a better look.
Tracking the structural integrity of gum with increasing amounts of chewing. Chewed that one for
Luca
47
wiped his
days.
hand off on his sweater and gave a nervous laugh.
It's
Beck
weird, I
looked
know.
down, timidly tapping the ladder with her feet.
You think it's weird, don't you? A little. But weird can be cool. Luca, can I ask you something? Of course. Wow, good jump. Cat-like reflexes. I'll be honest, that hurt more than I expected. Or at least you look cool doing it.
Beck took a moment to watch the rivulets of water running down the window.
Do you ever feel alone? Like even when people are around? Well, Rollo can be pretty absent-minded sometimes. serious. Does it ever feel like your family doesn't care what you want? It didn't used to feel that way. I know Gran loves me, but sometimes when she looks at me, it's like she's looking at a problem.
Luca took a deep breath, exhaling slowly.
I know the feeling. How do you deal with that? I guess I haven't yet. But one thing my dad told me when I was little is don't hold a grudge, especially against yourself. You try, hold it all in, you're gonna pop. So then what do you do when you don't know what to do? I never got to that part. Something I figured out on my own though. You gotta do something, anything. Here. What are you doing? I don't know. Something. I'm gonna register our complaints with the store. Listen here, you miserable universe. Stop joking me around. I just want things to go back to the way they were. Everyone's telling me it's gonna be alright. That things are gonna
Luca
change.
let out a feral scream that echoed into the night.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna put my fellow apartment dwellers through that. Every time something changes, everything gets worse. Screw this town. Whoa. Every time. Living sucks. I hate it. I hate that I hate it. Why can't I just deal with and be happy for my mom? Why can't we just stay simple? We're not.
Her voice dropped to a trembling whisper.
I just want to be a normal
Beth
kid.
brushed off her shirt and straightened up.
Wow, I actually feel a little
As
better.
abruptly as it began, the storm abated.
Thanks, I needed that. Me too. I should head out before the rain starts up again. Sure, I'll walk you out. See you and Rollo at the festival? Sounds good. Luca, don't let the universe jerk you
Beck
around.
gave Luca a light thump on the arm before heading in. Chapter 5. Friendly Feud. The air was heavy with the hard rain's residue, the smell of wet things. Despite his dreary surroundings, Luca felt at peace. He'd never shared those details about his dad with anyone, not even Rollo. But it's not like this changed anything. Rollo was still his best friend. Adding Beck to the group would help balance things out. Everything's better in threes. This is what Luca told himself as he headed to the treehouse.
It's annoying that it is full width, so you can't do, Oh, Dawn, what are you doing here? Hey, Dawn, tracking down a lead? You bet. I heard a juicy new rumor. Turns out when Shopper Valentine died, he left behind a peculiar last will and testament. Peculiar how? He didn't just give his kids any inheritance. There were conditions. Like what? The documents stipulated that the heiress had to take on a child as her ward. A kid our age who just showed up to town one night with a lawyer. Solid. Bingo. So heiress was forced to take care of him? Yep. Or she would have lost everything. Why would Sharper care so much about some random kid? Rumor has it, old Sharper sowed some wild oats. That explains the way heiress treats him. Poor Solomon. How did you find all this out? A good reporter never reveals her source, okay? Keep up the good work, Dawn. What's your book have to say, ma'am? He met his old friend's eyes and greeted with nothing but ice-cold anger. Heavens! There's no time for fractured friendships. Excuse me, what are you doing? Just looking up for the night, sir. Oh, wonderful. I can only assume all festival preparations have been completed ahead of schedule. Not exactly, sir. The storm set us back a bit and it's getting late, so we all decided to... You all decided? Yes, sir. I was unaware that your job involved deciding things. We are all here at Perennial Harvest because we believe in creating a better future, yes? Yes, sir, very much so. Do you want to be the one to tell this town that we have failed? No? That we gave up because there was a little bear. rainstorm, little rainstorm, and that we all got slick? Of course it did. Good, and it's decided. Yes, sir. We'll work till the task is done. Be lady to that. Our harvest awaits. Harvest of what? Is the question chat to be asking ourselves. Rollo, are you still up there? I'm sorry, Rollo isn't accepting visitors at the moment. Come back. Never.
Luca had only ever heard him speak in this stiff yet gentle tone a few times, and it always meant one thing.
You're upset. Oh, what makes you say that? Maybe because my best friend abandoned me for no reason. I didn't abandon you. Just a little late.
Rollo scoffed.
The rain held me up. Liar. You weren't even home. What? The storm got bad and I got worried, so I went looking for you. Imagine my surprise when I made it to your house and you weren't there. I hadn't made it back yet. I'm not a fool, Luca. It doesn't take all day to deliver a jam. No, the storm rolled in out of nowhere. I got stuck after dinner at
Luca
Beck's.
stumbled on his words, knowing.
Beck? Dinner? What the heck is a Beck? She's a new kid in town. She's actually kind of cool. You'd like her. You needed help convincing her parents that she made a new friend. New friends? I spent all day waiting for you, and you were off making new friends? Not like that, Rollo. You know, while I was waiting, I made some upgrades to Mission Control. It was going to be a surprise, but you took so long the storm knocked it all down. Just like you knocked down our friendship. What does that even mean?
Luca became instinctively angry, and both boys were now shouting across the distance.
It means you're a bad friend. You don't care about me. Of course I care, you ass. I knew I'd get in trouble waiting so long for you, but I kept my word, because that's what friends do. Oh wow, what a noble sacrifice you made. Easy for you to say. Your gran doesn't even care. You can stay out as long as you want. You wouldn't even get in trouble. Seriously? You're acting like I chose this. If that's what you think, then maybe you're a bad
Rollo's
friend.
tone changed to a calm, yet more intense anger.
Maybe Pa is right. Storms bring more than water. From brought out the real Luca. Stop quoting your Pa's nonsense like it means anything. Yeah, well at least my
The
Pa is
words
still
hung
around.
in the cold night air. Rollo's stomach dropped, knowing he'd crossed a line, but it was too late.
Luca, good night, Rollo. Am I to go to bed?
Luca dug through his old stuff, not even sure what he was looking for.
Soccer ball. Rollo, what a jerk. Only a bad friend. Ooh, I'm Rollo. Look at me and my amazing family. Guess I'm just never supposed to make new friends. I still love the face down line.
Gran cooed gently from the hallway.
You slept straight through breakfast. Luca, are you alright? I'm fine. Just don't feel like getting up yet. Okay, I'll leave this oatmeal by the door. I've got to run out and take care of some things. Okay. I'll be back later to check in. Sure.
Luca just wanted to be alone. He waited to hear the sound of the front door closing.
Rollo thinks I'm going to the festival with him. He can shove it. I bet Rollo's still going to the festival. Gonna be miserable. Okay, looks like I'm staying here then. Okay. What am I meant to be doing?
Luca
Going back
dozed
to bed.
off again.
Luca? I see you didn't eat your oatmeal. Wasn't hungry. Oh, just in case you get hungry, I'll leave a sandwich here too. Thanks. Rollo came by. What did he say? I wanted to talk to you. What did you say? I told him you weren't feeling well. Good. So your plan is just sit in your room all day? Pretty much. Well, I need to pop away again for a minute. If you decide to end your pity party and go outside, I think it'll do you some good. Noted.
Lucas still couldn't bring himself to go out. Besides, if he ran into Rollo, he'd have to actually confront the situation.
There's never anything interesting at the festival anyway. What am I meant to do? Pick the ball up there? Is that the objective at hand? Rollo thinks... Yeah, I know. We know. Very well, Luca.
The Adventures of Hank Atomic.
Complete first
Luca
volume.
carefully opened the cover and began to read. Rollo had received it for his birthday, a special hardcover edition with behind-the-scenes commentary and bonus art. Rollo cherished it, but asked that Luca keep it at his house. Luca wasn't sure if it was because Rollo didn't trust himself with it, didn't trust his sister around it, or just wanted an excuse to come hang out at Luca's more often. Whatever the reason, Luca didn't mind, but it had stayed right there where Rollo had stashed it ever since. Now, at the foot of his bed, Luca lost himself in the pages. He'd read it all before, but at this moment, it somehow felt sentimental. He was well into issue number 5 when he heard soft footsteps from the hallway.
Luca? My little friend came to see you. A girl named Beck Modewell. He said you met yesterday. What did she say? Is she here? She was just dropping by. I told her you weren't taking visitors today. Oh. He seems nice. Yeah. You had a fight with Rollo, didn't you? Can I come in? Maybe later. Alright then. I'll leave dinner on the kitchen table, in case you want to bite before
Without
bedtime.
realizing it, Luca had pouted away the entire afternoon. He once again felt the weight of it all, and allowed his weary eyes to... Luca stood in a vast black expanse. He looked up at his father standing beside him. Walt was working a straw at the bottom of a fountain glass, trying to collect the last bits of milkshake. Dad, where are we? Taking a final loud gurgling sip, his father peered up from the glass. He jangled the straw
I wish I
playfully
could
with a
still drink
warm
milkshakes,
smile,
chat.
then lifted the empty glass as if to point into the darkness. The source. Luca's eyes followed his father's gesture. In an instant, he was sitting in front of a blazing campfire. Across from him sat a large figure in a yellow hazmat suit. The figure's voice was a scratchy echo. Well, if it isn't the man of the hour. Make yourself comfortable. Luca held his shivering hands over the flame to warm himself. It doesn't work that way here. Their yellow-gloved hand pointed to the base of the flame. It's a cold flame. See? Luca peered at the base of the fire. It wasn't wood that was burning. It was Beacon Pines itself. Tiny buildings, freezing and crumbling as they were consumed by flame. Luca could see small shadows moving in the burning city. People. Luca leapt to his feet. We've got to help them! The figure gave a dismissive wave of their hand. Why waste energy helping people who can't even help themselves? The figure bent down to examine the panicked crowd as they desperately tried to stop the flames. They only care about what's right in front of them. Not like us. Luca's voice was a trembling whisper. Us? The figure slowly stood up, grabbing its helmet with both hands. With a jolt and a twist, the suit emitted a gasp. A cloud of torpid mist escaped. Slowly, Luca's own face looked back at him. Older, worn, distant. The sensation was oddly familiar, as if he'd caught his own reflection by surprise in the mirror. The doppelganger smiled. I tried to help once. He gestured towards his face. And all it got me was this. Lucas staggered back. You aren't me. Luca felt a hand catch his shoulder. His father was there again, beside him. Every choice sets us on a path. This is the end of one of your paths, son. Luca watched his older self shake its head ruefully. its face twisting into a cruel grin.
Welp, Dad, if you wanted him to see this, far be it from me to disappoint.
Luca watched in shock as the figure took a confident step forward and plunged into the flames in a flash of cold light. He was gone.
What does all of this mean?
Luca felt a reassuring squeeze on his shoulder.
Just remember, why we choose matters just as much as what we...
Luca woke up to see a hazy figure at the foot of his bed. So...
No, dude. Sit on the ground.
Luca rubbed his eyes. The kind, concerned face of his gran came into focus.
How are you feeling? Fine? Anything you want to talk about? I don't feel like talking. That's just as well. How about you sit there and listen a bit? Whatever you and Rollo fought about doesn't matter. But
Gran silenced Luca with a gentle pat on the leg.
Fights between friends happen. What was said doesn't matter. The important thing is that it's not the last thing you ever say to each other. But he said stuff about Dad. Well, do you think he meant it? No. He was just mad. And did you mean any of the things you said to him? No. Good. One must appreciate friends in their best moments and accept them in their worst. Now get your little butt out of bed. The festival's today. You don't want to miss that, do you? I guess not. Seems like a good opportunity to make amends with Rollo,
Luca
doesn't
gave
it?
a reluctant nod.
To buy him a corn dog and apologize. But he's the one that... What did I just say? Buy him a corn dog. That's a good boy. Everything's better with the corn dog. Going to get going now. Got some last minute festival business to attend to. I'll come find you at the fountain a little after lunch. Alright. I love you, Luke. I love you too.
Luca took a deep breath.
Okay.
Chapter 6. Through Thick and Thin. Despite Luca's bitterness, Gran was right. He needed to hash things out with Rollo. A big fight changes the nature of a friendship. Whether, in the end, it is for the better or for the worse, all comes down to understanding. If one is not careful, the same familiarity that builds the strongest of bonds can become the wrecking ball that shatters them. Luca emerged from seclusion, taking in the crisp festival air. But the events of the day weren't on his mind. He had to find Rollo.
I don't know why I wanted to go that way. I was wondering if maybe Rollo was up there. That was where he first met him, after all. There you are. Okay. Rollo wanted me to tell you something. What is
Roxy rolled her eyes.
it? A space adventure, though you needn't buy it. If you be brave, go somewhere quiet. No, Roxy, I don't. It's a riddle, like my goofy little brother wants you to find
Luca
it.
looked down and kicked at the dirt.
Look, I know you two had a fight. The only thing more annoying than my little brother is my little brother without his best friend. So I'm doing this one favor. Now I need one favor from you. Whatever it is that went down between you two, squash it. Bye! The library.
Jeff was staring into the distance with a
Hey Jeff, everything alright? Oh, yeah, everything's fine. I mean, used to be fine. Just ain't right these days, you know? I really do.
Jeff turned to Luca with a furrowed brow, then gave an understanding nod.
You do, don't you?
For a moment, the two now shared that same wistful gaze.
What a perennial harvest places, huh? The library somewhere quiet. Hey, Luca.
Kato's eyes lit with excitement.
I've been expecting you. Bravo in deciphering the first riddle. The first? Oh, you didn't think that was all, did you? Rollo does go all out, doesn't he?
Kato straightened up and cleared his throat as if preparing to sing.
Our planet Forpal, you may take issue. When the fifth king dies, you'll need a
Kato
tissue.
stared at Luca eagerly.
Get it? Want me to tell you? No? Okay, let me figure it out. Alright, when you find it, bring it here to be verified. If you decide you want a hint, the offer still stands.
Luca grabbed The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue number 4, from the shelf.
No, it's not that.
Luca grabbed The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue number 5, from the
That's
shelf. Kato
you found
removed his book from the desk and replaced it with Luca's, turning. As he slid the book under the purple light, 2 words glowed. The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue 5. Luca clicked his tongue with recognition.
Rollo's cipher pen. Used to write secret messages everywhere with that. And only I had the special flashlight needed to reveal it. But I listened. Oh, apparently he traded with Jeff for this purple light bulb. Parted with his entire Halloween candy stash. Oh, problem. Now let's see here.
Kato began flipping through the pages, stopping when he hit a glowing word.
Get away with such a
He
grip.
continued flipping.
Only found in Rub. God.
Reaching the end of the book, Kato looked up.
That's it. Grift in Rub Card. Griffin's Grub Card. You want me to go to Griffin's snack stand? Ah, brilliant. I guess you're off then. Good luck on the rest of the scavenger hunt. Thanks, Kato. I think that was this way. South from here. Pipe, you're actually taking a break from studying? I wanted to see what all the festival fuss is about, but I can't help but notice you still brought a backpack full of books. Look at backpacks can carry a lot more than just books. Very true. So what you got in there? Books. Hey Griffin, did Rollo
Before
come?
Luca could finish his sentence, Griffin.
Oh, that's it? Bought and paid for. Enjoy.
Luca shrugged, taking a sizable bite out of the corn dog.
Good. Oh. Oh yeah, that's been sitting here for a while. Rollo wanted me to be sure to give you that one specifically.
Luca tongued at his cheeks, feeling something rough between his teeth. He reached into his mouth and pulled out a slip of paper. He shook off the bits of corn dog to read the slip.
A pickup when you need some pep near the fountain up the
Luca
step.
finished off the remainder of.
This is getting to be a whole thing. The cafe. Oops, sorry. There you are, Luca. There's no way I'm actually doing this. It's way below my pay grade. Oh, come on, you big stiff. Let the kids have some fun. Fine. But Rollo
Louie
owes me.
waved his hands around sarcastically as
What takes flight but has no wings, your final task of friendship brings. Yeah, that wasn't so hard. Feel cheapened somehow. I think it's sweet. Take flight but has no wings. Good luck, Luca. A balloon? Hey. Did you find the comic book? Yep. And you got the condom? Yeah. Well then. I know it doesn't make up for what I said, but here, you
Rollo
can admit.
sheepishly handed Luca the balloons.
Thanks. You didn't have to go to all this trouble. I'm sorry I got so mad. Dang it, you were supposed to let me apologize first. Oh, sorry. Now you've apologized twice before me. Just let me do this. Luca, I'm really sorry. With everything that's happened with your mum and all, I always wanted to be there for you. Be a good friend, you know? When you said you were hanging out with someone else, I kind of freaked out. Rollo, do my thing. I felt like if you needed some new friend to help you, it meant I wasn't good enough. But that was selfish and wrong. I was wrong. I'm so sorry, Luca. Okay, apology over. You can talk
Luca
now.
threw himself at Rollo,
Rollo, I don't deserve you. I don't deserve you either. That's why we deserve each other. So, what else do you want to do today? We could snoop around and try and find some info about your mum. No, where? We could probably sneak into Perennial Harvest HQ while everyone's at the festival. Aren't you curious about all the stuff those clipboards right there? What if we get caught? I think I've had enough excitement for 1 week. Let's just make the rest of the day about us. Really? Yeah, the rest of the world can wait 1 more day. You know? I've been wanting to get some work done on the MCDC at Mission Control. The aim is a bit unpredictable. That sounds perfect. There goes the beetle hunt. Pretty rotten. Haven't seen so much as a exuvie? It's not just the beetles. This morning I couldn't find any critters at all. Like everything that buzzes or skitters just packed up and left. I'm sure they're out there somewhere. Maybe all the commotion of the festival just spooked them. Yeah, maybe that's it. Let's just head to the control center. Oh, I almost forgot. I ran into your gran this morning. She asked me to give you
Rollo
this.
handed Luca an unopened letter.
I'll wait for you inside if you want to read it now. A letter?
Luca, some things are going to happen that might be difficult for you to understand. If I am honest, I hardly understand them myself. But whatever happens, I need you to know that I love you. None of this is fair to you. You have already lost so much. We both have. I wish there was a simpler way forward. But if there is, I haven't thought of it. God knows I've tried everything I've done. I did for you. I hope someday you can accept that. Love, Gran.
I love you too, Gran.
Luca folded the paper into his pocket and headed up the ladder.
What's up with the letter? Anything you want to talk about? Maybe later. Sure, whatever you want. You know, you really didn't have to go to all that trouble just to apologize. I know, but we'd been looking forward to the festival for weeks. After I ruined everything with my big mouth, this was the best way to make sure you still had a good time without me.
Luca
Rollo.
was at a loss for words, but that was fine. Words aren't always necessary.
Festival seemed nice. Was it nice? We can still go. Nah, it's fine. Well, there's always next year.
Sadly, this was untrue. A distant rumble shook the treehouse.
What was that? They missed
It
the
was not
fireworks.
fireworks. It was something the boys couldn't possibly comprehend. Something as old and cruel as time itself.
What in tarnation?
A shockwave of cold tore through the room. A bitter, unfathomable chill. Before they could react, it encased them in ice. Two boys, reunited by friendship, only to be cruelly separated by a malevolence beyond reason. And so, our story ends on this melancholy scene, in a silent treehouse turned statuary. In a town brought low by its secrets, sits a pair of friends, alone, together, for the rest of time. The end. No, that can't be the ending. It simply can't. I won't accept it, and I hope you won't either. There are more endings, more possibilities. We are just going to have to sort through them all until we find the one that fits.
We could do the good cop, hard cop. Could run away. Fly.
Luca drew himself up and decided to take the only option they had left. Flight.
must flee.
He squinted down the barrel of the mission control defense cannon, aiming it through an opening in the dense tree. He looked up with surprise as it struck true and taut.
Wow, I can't believe that worked. Hey, Mr. Kerr, we'd love to hear your thoughts, but I'm afraid we have places to be. Come on, Iggy. See you, jerks. Fine, we know where that leads them. This way, we'll take the tunnels.
Luca and Iggy winced as they sprinted through the thicket. The branches clawed at them, reluctant to give passage. After what felt like a marathon, Luca stopped in his tracks as they reached the clearing. What? That was all he was able to say before Iggy slammed into his back. The boys tumbled down a steep decline and crashed with a wheezing thud on a surface as hard as ice. In fact, it was
I was gonna say, maybe it was ice.
Chapter 5. Signs.
The movie?
They stood silently, catching their breath. The sky was like sapphire. With each breath, a plume of steam escaped from Luca's lungs. Let's keep moving. Luca pulled Iggy to his feet as they gazed across a...
That was actually pretty badass. I think we lost them. Are we up in the mountains? I think so. If anything, we went down. Now what's up with this winter wonderland? All I know is there's no going back the way we came. See if we can get our bearings. Follow me. Get us through this archway. Luca, are you
Luca
there?
had almost forgotten the walkie-talkie.
It's that bozo Kerr. I hope nothing bad has happened to you out in those
Luca
woods.
looked at Iggy with hesitation.
No need to be
With a
rude.
resigned sigh, Luca responded.
Seems like the only dangerous thing in the woods is you. He speaks, the young man of the hour. Now, how in tarnation did you end up with one of our radios? Just lucky, I guess. Boy, howdy, you Van Hoons are full of surprises, aren't you? You knew my parents? Never had the honor of meeting your father, but your mum sure was a handful.
Luca winced, shoving the walkie-talkie back into his pocket.
Gotta keep moving. Nope. Right this way. That way? Wait, hold on, is that something through here? Nope. What's the readout? Sitting just above 258 Kelvin. That's down a bit from last time. Should we report this to Mr. Kerr? Still within safe ranges. Maybe spreading, but it's under control for now. Even a small nudge in the equilibrium could cause a cascade. Dude, relax. Just a few more sights to hit before we can punch out. Let's get this over with. I wonder, Alexa, what's 258 Kelvin in Celsius? Minus 15.15 degrees Celsius. Damn. Chilly. What's all this? Hard to say with all this snow. I think it's a town sign. I can almost make out the letters under there. What town could this even be? Could be another town this deep into Wheatwood. Looking at the evidence to the contrary. Figure out what we're dealing with here. That one snow's gotta go. Evacuated the town to clean it up.
The
They made a
boys
new
stood
town
in
instead.
disbelief at the sign that now clearly read, "Welcome."
This doesn't make any sense. Where in Beacon Pine? How's that possible? We ran away from town. How did we get back here? I guess we got turned around. Where did all this snow come from? Well, it's been colder than normal lately. There's a pretty big difference between sweater weather and this Arctic hellscape. How did we fought it before? It was cold too. Maybe all of it leads to one source. I think it's related. What the hell is going on? We're gonna get you some answers. Let's keep moving. I reckon this is the original town. Oh, maybe. Maybe.
The fencing glistened, each chain link encapsulated with a translucent layer of ice.
Looks like the stuff they put up around Weeble. Stuff who put up? I don't know. It's all frozen.
Looking down at the frozen stream, Luca could faintly see a school of minnows encased in the ice.
Whatever happened here, it happened fast. Fish didn't even have time to run. Or, swim.
The crunching of footsteps trailing Luca went hush. He looked back to see Iggy's face twisted.
Everyone's gone. What? There's nothing here but smooth snow. There must be an explanation for all this. We have to keep looking. You can look all you want. I quit. Iggy, we have to keep going. You don't get it, do you? This isn't one of a pathetic Hank Atomic story. We aren't going to save the day. We aren't even going to save ourselves. My face is mangled, the town is destroyed, and everyone as we've ever known is gone. We do not know that. You can't just quit. Do whatever you want. I'm done. Iggy, it's going to be okay.
Luca peered upward at the darkening sky. He let out a long, foggy breath. Faintly, Iggy began to cry. Seeing Iggy in such a pathetic state gave Luca a sense of compassion, and more than a little guilt.
Getting pretty late, I think. Probably not a great idea to stumble around in the dark anyway.
Luca allowed himself to collapse next to Iggy.
Let's just
The
rest for a
boys
bit.
huddled together for warmth and comfort. If not for exhaustion, their minds would be racing, trying to make sense. As it was, all they had energy for was to sit in silence.
That may be the death of them, though. The way the snow covered everything is kind of calming. Yeah. I haven't had time to say it, but thanks. Huh? You're getting us away from those creeps. I sort of froze up back there. Iggy, I should be the one apologizing. This all happened because I lost my temper. Nah, that's bull hockey. First of all, you didn't know what that gun could do. You didn't, right? Of course not. It's taken to stop this baloney about losing your temper. But I did lose
Iggy
my
motioned
temper.
sarcastically to his half-deformed face.
Obviously. That's exactly what you should have done. Huh? I was being a horse's ass. You were supposed to be a horse's ass in response. That's how it works. Iggy, I'm having a hard time following. You wanted me to fight you? Of course. These goody types take forever to understand this very basic point. Why would you go around saying cruel things trying to get into
Iggy
fights?
shrugged.
It's something to do. You're an asshole because you're bored? Sometimes I just feel empty. You wouldn't understand. You and Rollo are always having a blast together. Laughing, calling that dinky little treehouse mission
Iggy now
control.
wept openly.
Perfect little Luca Van Horn. His perfect little life. My life is not perfect. Everybody in town likes you. Not everybody. Hell, that new girl hasn't even unpacked and she likes you. You have
He
Tish.
wiped his nose with a sleeve.
I love Tish. Tish is great. But she ain't exactly the world's greatest conversationalist, you know?
Luca gave a warm chuckle.
I
Iggy
get that
cleared his
impression.
throat as he wiped his eyes.
Must be raining out here.
Iggy arched into a wide yawn.
We should probably try. Get some sleep. Yeah. Let's lay low for now. Tomorrow we'll get to the
Luca's
bottom of this.
eyelids began to slowly.
Luca? Yeah? I always did want to see the inside of your dinky little treehouse. What do you think? Not bad. I'll give you this full tour when we get back. You know what?
That's all Luca could whisper before succumbing to sleep. Iggy snuggled in some more.
It comes to worst days of my life, this one wasn't half bad. Do
The
hope
house
they wake
smelled
up.
of warm bread. Luca was playing with toy blocks on the living room. He looked up to see his parents on the couch. His mother held his father's head in her lap. She idly stroked his hair while humming a song. A voice behind Luca spoke.
This is how you remember them, huh?
Luca turned to see his own face, the doppelganger from his dreams, still clad in a yellow hazmat suit, still carrying a look of disdain behind empty eyes.
Aww, look at this perfectly
Does this fella
cozy
know?
scene. You know, it wasn't really like.
The figure picked up a toy block and inspected it.
It's amazing the facades that one can build given the right materials. Not that I blame us. These are a child's memories, all warm and fuzzy. You don't remember, do you?
Luca snatched the block from the figure's yellow-gloved hand.
Remember what?
The doppelganger pointed to the couch.
The last day we saw him.
The day he chose to abandon us. Luca turned to look at his father, still lounging on the couch. That's not true. He didn't abandon us. The doppelganger waved his hand dismissively.
Everything is true here. It's just a matter of what we choose to see. Well, let me show you. The world flickered and pulsed.
Luca was sitting next to his bed, listening to his heartbeat with one of his dad's stethoscopes.
The doppelganger limped into the room. Now, we both know that's not how this went.
He grabbed Luca's hand and guided the stethoscope to the floor.
Luca heard muffled shouting, brought close by the stethoscope.
It was his parents, fighting.
Do you remember what we did next?
Luca gave a slow nod and crept down the hall to peek through the banister. He could see the outline of his mother at the bottom of the stairs. Damn it, Walt. We can't afford to get involved in this. She was scared. His father stepped forward.
What am I supposed to do? Just watch? There's a sickness in this town, and we both know who's behind it. I swore an oath to help people. I won't turn my back on them.
Luca's mother grabbed Walt. She was crying, pleading. I can't lose you.
Walt calmly removed Eleanor's hand from his shoulder. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong.
They have that kind of
I
conviction.
could never live with myself if I let Sharper get away with this.
Eleanor raised her voice.
Spare me your bullshit platitudes. What about our son? Luca flinched, dropping the stethoscope down the stairs. Walt turned with a panicked smile. Luca, is that you, buddy? With tears in his eyes, Luca descended the stairs. Mom? Dad? What's going on? Walt dropped to a knee to meet Luca eye to eye. Nothing, buckaroo. Your mom and I just got a little overexcited is all. Luca placed the stethoscope against his father's chest. His heart was racing. It sounded like you were going somewhere. Walt gently removed the device from Luca's ears. Listen to me, Luca. I have some business to take care of. I'll be back in time to tuck you in. Luca hugged his father tightly. Promise? Walt stood up and walked to the door. I promise. With a wink and a grin, he put on his hat and strode out. A figure approached soundlessly from the... It stood above them, lingering in contemplation. Slowly raising one hand above Iggy, it snapped out 2 brisk raps on his head. From a deep slumber, Iggy...
Get your hands off me.
Whether it was the calming presence or the recognition that he was not in danger, Iggy felt his clenched fists lower.
Just what do you think you're doing?
Luca looked up, gradually remembering. The figure exhaled a cloud of warm vapor.
You two certainly have caused a lot of commotion. What's that supposed to mean? Take it easy, Iggy. We were asleep, minding our own business. We were not running around knocking on people's heads. I'm sorry if I hurt you, Iggy. You didn't hurt nobody. Anybody. Huh? Oh, I see. You think they're better than me? You.
When it came to complete strangers, Iggy had trouble cobbling together an insult.
You big-headed, scarf-pea neck, furball? Okay, let's lower the temperature a bit for you. Interesting choice of words. I mean, let's all just calm down. Who are you? A friend. An observer. A hitchhiker on the infinite expanse of possibility. Great. How about a name? You must call me something. You can call me Nat.
Iggy huffed with gratification.
How about you make like a gnat buzz off? Very well.
Nat began to turn away indifferently.
Wait, do you live here? You might say that. So you know where we are? You might also say that. Look, pal, we just want to find a safe way out of here. You gonna help us or not? Before knowing how to leave, one must know where they are. Alright, that does it. Luca, I don't know about you, but I'm getting out of here one way or another.
Iggy turned sharply and began to stomp.
Enough with the riddles. Iggy, wait up.
Realizing he'd worn their patience thin, Nat relented.
Very well. I suppose this isn't the time for metaphors. I'll show you how to get back
Luca
home.
and Iggy turned around with hope and
Come here.
Nat took a deep breath in.
Close your eyes.
Nat exhaled slowly, then snapped his fingers.
Okay, open.
For a brief moment, Luca and Iggy let themselves believe that some great magic was about to until they opened their eyes and found themselves in the exact same place, cold and disheartened.
This is your home. This is Beacon Pines. Look, Nat, we don't know how we got here. Maybe we stumbled through some time travel gate in Weebwood? Or we teleported to some alternate universe? This is just some cruel experiment where Karen is good. This is not our home. We're inching closer to the truth. But alas, the reality is much less fancy. Just give it to us straight. So be it. As I said, this is Beacon Pines. The original, true Beacon Pines. As I suspected. You both grew up here, but the town you've called your home for the past several years is a replica. A remarkable achievement of engineering, to be fair, but a replica nonetheless. It's impossible. Too much work. You need a whole town to replicate a whole town. Indeed, to pull up a whole feat. Such a feat would require immense labor power. That which could be moved would be moved. That which could not would require precise duplication. You would have noticed. Someone would have noticed. You'd think so, unless the auditing was impeccable. A mind-numbing attention to detail. As for the innumerable trivialities which complete the tapestry, well, you can leave that to this miraculous thing we call a brain. There's a real aversion to discontinuity, a revulsion, in fact. The brain has a wonderful way of smoothing out the rough edges, keeping us sane. Luca and Iggy looked around uncomfortably. So you're saying that someone made an entire new town, moved us all, and no one noticed? Precisely. But why? Why is the one question that can never be answered with certainty. The best one can do is
Nat
uncover.
narrowed his eyes, furrowed his brow, and uttered,
Source. Why do you say the source like that? Well, indeed.
Luca began to laugh uncomfortably.
It's all ridiculous. There's no way
He
they
looked
could...
down at his feet. His eyes started back and forth in contemplation. With a sudden pain, a thought struck him.
If this really is home,
He sprinted off into the pale distance. As Iggy turned to follow, Nat called out.
Iggy, it's not too late to turn back. Simply head west through Weepwood.
Chapter 6. The Source. Nat expressed his sympathy with a shrug and sauntered off as unassumingly as he'd arrived. He'd given Luca and Iggy what they needed, and nothing more. As Luca sprinted across the snow, the events of the past few days became clearer, pieces to a larger puzzle. Rollo said he was underground somewhere, captured. Mr. Kerr tried to cover it up with lies. The clipboards were hell-bent on capturing Iggy. It all seemed to point to perennial harvest. But right now, there was one thing that Luca needed to know. Luca stopped dead in his tracks. The tree was gone, uprooted and moved, leaving a raw gash in the earth.
Oh, that's the gravestone.
He dropped to his knees and dug wildly at the cold snow. His numb hands hit something hard, a headstone. A dry whisper escaped Luca's lips.
You're here. All this time, I thought I was visiting you. You've been here, alone, in the snow. Dad, I'm so sorry. You ruined your favorite spot in the world. Our favorite spot in the world. Dad, what do I do?
There was no reply, just snow-covered silence.
Why do you give me the slip like that? What if I couldn't find you, you jerk?
Iggy finally noticed the tears welling in Luca's eyes and the snow-covered grave.
Oh. Iggy, they stole this tree, Iggy. Yikes.
Suddenly, they heard the crunch of approaching footsteps in the snow.
We gotta hide. 259k. Ball off distance, still good. Dude, you hear me? I said 259. Sorry. You ever think about what we did here? We saved a whole town of people. Doesn't feel like it sometimes. About everything we left behind. That's the grave of someone with a family. People who love them will never know the truth. The truth is
He bent
overrated.
down to scoop up a snowball and lobbed it playfully.
Hey, don't be such a downer, dude. We took this job to change the world. Yeah? Come on. It's almost lunchtime. Weirdo. Here I thought I was a joke. These dinguses are out here literally dancing on graves.
Luca stuttered through heaving sobs.
I thought I was visiting him. I thought he was with me. I'm not gonna lie, that's a bad break. Here's some
Iggy
advice.
gave Luca a solid smack on the back of his head.
Hey, who's any of this helping? What? Sitting here in the snow, crying like some pushover. Who are you helping? Iggy, look what they did. They lied to everyone. Blah, blah, blah. Luca Van Horn. You're a lot of things, but you ain't no pushover. Let me get rid of a calendar notification. What did I tell you before? When some jerk comes at you, acting like a horse's ass, I should stand up for myself. Hell yeah. Aaron and his merry little band of clipboards pulled off this switcheroo for a reason, right? Nat mentioned something about a source.
Luca wiped his eyes with a sleeve.
Whatever's at the source must be awfully valuable to perennial harvest. It would be a shame if something unfortunate were to happen to this precious source, wouldn't it? But you have a mind. If it's smallest enough to steal, we snatch it. If it's too big to snatch, we smash it. Or if it's too big to
Iggy
smash.
flashed a mischievous smile and cracked his knuckles.
I'm always up for a chat. I'm gonna make this right. Dad, I promise. Let's do this. It's awfully cold out there in those woods, Luca. Probably best you two stay put and conserve your energy. Helps on. Where's Rollo? Where's my mum? Did you kill her? Oh, heavens no. Do I seem like a killer?
Iggy and Luca shared a skeptical look.
Well, do I? Oh, shucks, now that hurts my feelings. Screw that guy. Wait a minute. If this is the original town, that means...
Iggy darted behind a large pine and began digging furiously. He emerged holding a shoebox with a crude skull painted on its lid.
What's that? Long story. So a few years back, I came into possession of some premium grade fireworks. Not the wimpy firecracker stuff they give kids. The good stuff. So I'd be buried under a tree. That's the long part of the story. You and Rollo were doing chores at Rollo's chicken coop, and you guys pissed me off for some reason or
Luca
another.
rolled his eyes.
No, you didn't.
Iggy stifled a chuckle.
Yep. I just wanted to give you guys a little scare. But like I said, these were some primo fireworks. So I might have underestimated things. You blew up the chicken coop? Prefer to think of it as an incendiary redecoration. Sorry, but you should have seen the look on your faces. Rollo got grounded for months. Which is why I needed to stash the evidence and lay low. So I buried him under that tree. When I came back for him later, they were gone. I figured some grown-up found him and tossed him.
Iggy triumphantly raised the shoe.
Turns out it wasn't the fireworks that got moved. It was us. Do you think this is a game? Newsflash, boyo. You're not a hero. You're a little brat who is in well over his head. A hero is just someone who refuses to give up. Comics these days are rotting children's brain. Everyone thinks they're a spaceman superhero. I was always partial to Hank Atomic myself. Is that so? Do you really think you have a chance against us? You have no idea how powerful we are. Prepare for blast-off, loser.
Luca and Iggy inched up to the edge of the hole with bewilderment in their eyes. Arctic air breathed out of the cavern in heaving gusts.
Echo. Whoa. See why they wanted to move us all out of town now. Why'd they dig a giant hole? I think this is it. This is the source. The dang hole. How do we smash a hole? Oh, it's much more than that, my annoying little friend. It's Rollo. I wasn't lying before, he said. Well, thankfully you two at least. Drats, it's cold. You just had to drag me all the way out here.
Mr. Kerr gazed down the abyss in contemplation.
It really is something, isn't it? You do to our town. What is all of it? Well, that's a doozy of a question. This is the source, where they collect the unrefined...
Kerr scratched the back of his head.
Honestly, boys, I don't understand any of this well enough to explain. The fact of the matter is, I'm not paid to know. What do I mean you don't know? Ain't you in charge? Oh, for goodness sake. My role is merely to flash a winning smile and manage various complications like that. You are a smart
His
boy.
face contorted into a saccharine grin.
It really is nothing personal. Some people are destined to strive for greatness, and others are simply obstacles along the way. Seems like you are destined to be a creepy lackey. The point is that we all play a part in our life. Mine just happened to be a lead in the role of a lifetime. Yours happened to be extras ready for your curtain call. We aren't giving up with our fight. Your smile's not going to be so winning after we're done with you. Now, boys, there's no need for melodrama. It makes even a professional such as myself embarrassed for you. Let's change the mood a
Kerr
bit.
snapped his fingers.
Big change. There, that's better. Deal with them.
Iggy turned to Luca with a sly glance.
Why are you smoking? Because I have a box full of fireworks and you don't.
Iggy waved the box into the air, threatening to drop.
Stop. Let's not do something regrettable. Joke's on you. Regret is one of my specialities. Kind of curiously, what would happen if I threw these in your precious hole? Nothing. Nothing at all. You're a terrible liar, Mr. Kerr. I'll have you know. I am an exceptional liar. Up. That's far enough.
Iggy plucked a single bottle rocket from the box and held it up with reverence.
Stop, you fool. All off your guns.
After a long pause, Mr. Kerr flung up his hand with frustration.
Very well. You can all head back for the night. It's been a long day. I'll handle these two from here.
Mr. Kerr sighed into the frigid air.
Just us now. You can put that down. What's like this?
With a nonchalant flick, Iggy tossed the firework into the hole.
Whoa.
With a growl, Kerr leapt at Iggy, crashing. Iggy tried to twist away, but Luca dove forward, bracing Iggy's hand just before it slipped. His grip was made precarious by the cold, wet snow. He could see Kerr further down, clinging to Iggy's coat.
You reckless child. What have you done? Luca, listen to me. Hold tight and use the walkie-talkie to call them back. How and what channel do I use? It doesn't make a damn difference. They're always listening. Do that, the clipboard will just hold us up and snag us both. The only way for you to get out of this is if Kerr's out of the picture. Just let go and save yourself. If he lets us go, we'll both die. I don't want to die, but seeing the look on your face almost makes it worth it. Mr. Kerr, you've had a long life. Why didn't you actually do something selfish and just let go?
Mr. Kerr
Selfless.
gasped with insult.
Long life? I'll have you know I can still play 25. You should have heard me sing the part of young Phileas
With a
Young.
wild look in his eye, Mr. Kerr began to hum a proud melody.
Dum dum dum. Dum. Wow, can you believe this guy?
Luca's hand began to cramp. His voice began to crack.
Sure, just let go. I can't do. You want to save your friend, you'll have to save me too. It's okay.
Luca felt Iggy loosen his grasp.
You're not going to kill your friend like that.
Every muscle in Luca's body burned.
I'm not his friend. Yes, you are. No. I'm just a no good bully. Like Yuko. Iggy, no.
Luca felt his hand slipping.
And I told you what you need to do with bullies. I can't. You're on the way out of this mess. Two birds with one stone. Makes sense for us to fall together. What I could do is travel in pack.
Calm settled over Iggy's face.
Luca, let me do
Iggy's
this.
voice was colder than the bitter air billowing from the chasm.
Let me do the right thing for us. Luca had no choice but to. Accept Iggy's request.
Luca had no choice but to accept Iggy's request. With a quiet blink, Luca watched a teardrop sail down into the howling void. As his fingers slowly gave up, he met eyes with Iggy.
Good.
The two silhouettes were swallowed by darkness.
Are we gonna move on? I love you. Goodbye, Iggy. Okay, you should really step back. Oh, quickly. Curious. But of course, those fireworks in Iggy must have been just the right amount of energy to get out of here before perennial harvest arrives. Not until you tell me what just happened. Your friend's sacrifice just saved this town. For a little while, anyway. How? Tempest liquorium is a peculiar substance. It can change the relationship between matter and time itself. But doing so requires unfathomable energy. In a closed system, that energy can only come from its surroundings. A useful side product of this property being, by adding precisely the correct amount of energy to it, one can create a cryogenic cascade. So the gunk makes things cold, and the fireworks made the whole freeze over. That's one way of putting it. As dumb luck would have it, the fireworks weren't strong enough to generate a runaway reaction. I shudder to think what would have happened if that were the
We have
case.
some idea what that would look like.
It will take them a good while to safely break through and access the source again. You know all about this stuff. Why have you been helping? I have been. In my way. Each one of us has our role to play. Iggy's role, it turns out, was to buy us precious time. Mine has been to observe and wait. Wait for what? You. Me? Why?
A
What's my
fierce
role?
twinkle flashed in Nat's eyes.
Luca Van Horn, you are going to save the world.
With a chuckle, Nat turned and walked west. Dumbfounded, Luca followed behind him, trudging through the snow. Every step taking him further away from everyone and everything he knew, and closer to destiny. To be continued in Beacon Pines, Pines Harder.
Oh, yeah.
Revenge served cold, second time's a charm?
Can't wait for that game to come out.
Wait, that's it? This ends with a crummy cliffhanger just when it was getting good? I was even starting to like Iggy. No way. I refuse to be associated with some never-ending parade of sequel. Let's go back and find something more definitive.
I think we're going to leave this till Wednesday, chat. Let us find someone to raid. It was a good game. Oh, it is a good game, I should say. We're not done yet. After all. Hopefully it has been a good stream for those for you all. I have enjoyed it, certainly. Hopefully you have too. What do we want to do? Let us raid Fluffy Boy again. _B. Alright, well, chat. Thank you very much for joining me tonight for our beginning, as it turns out, of the Beacon Pines playthrough. It's a good story. I'll be interested to see how it finishes up. It's an interesting mechanic. I think it's similar to Life is Strange, where you can kind of go back and change things. But thank you very much for joining me. I will see you again on Wednesday for some more Beacon Pines. Until then, have a good Sunday, or the rest of your Saturday, as it may be, and a good start to your week. Let us go say hi to Fluffy, and I will endeavour to sleep well. Follow me here, and I will keep you posted on what I'm doing tomorrow in terms of the camera work for the time trial for Aurora de Mercedes's time attack on Forza Horizon 5. Doing one of the kind of canyon runs in the new DLC map. But let's go say hi to Fluff. All right. Cheerio.